It's time to dusting off the Ed Chanel Cup. The Spokane Chiefs are one win away from being crowned WHL champions for 2008. The Chiefs have used brute force throughout the series to contain the Hurricanes and put themselves one step closer to punching their own ticket to the Memorial Cup. Get ready to flip the switch. Game 4 of the WHL final on Shaw starts now. Lights out for the Lethbridge Hurricanes. We will find out next in Game 4 of the championship final. Good evening and welcome to Strauss Herb WHL Hockey on Shaw. I'm your host, Dan Elliott. Thanks to Tyler Johnson's overtime heroics last night, the Spokane Chiefs are one victory away from becoming the first U.S.-based team in 10 years to win a WHL championship title. This series, though, is looking eerily similar to the '91 championship final, in which the Chiefs manhandled the Canes en route to winning their first and only Memorial Cup championship in their franchise history. Now, the only difference is back then the Chiefs had an explosive offense with the likes of Ray Whitney and Pat Falloon. This time around, they are a team that relies heavily on strong team defense and timely scoring to achieve their goals. Now, speaking of goals, they have come at a premium for the Lethbridge Hurricanes in this series. After scoring 19 in 4 games versus Calgary, they have just 4 in the 3 games versus Spokane. As a result, there's an all-points bulletin out for the likes of Mitch Fadden, who, despite hitting the post and missing on a breakaway last night, has been held pointless in this series. The Ed Chanel Cup is in the building. Will it be handed out tonight? 60 minutes or more of hockey will decide that. Let's now check in with Dan Russell and Bill Williams to get their thoughts on Game 4.
Thank you very much, Dan. Certainly the opportunity was there for Lethbridge. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. The reality is, it's 3-0 and it's all uphill.
Yeah, it's only the second time the Hurricanes have lost a game when leading after 40 minutes.
Let's recap last night. They were this close to making it a 2-1 series lead. It was certainly an early goal, or at least Lethbridge getting the first goal late in the second period on this shot by May that was deflected by King.
Yeah, great positioning by King. Got that puck past the goaltender. And then for most of that third period, I thought the Hurricanes did a great job of keeping the Spokane Chiefs to the outside. And the clock was winding down. Chris Bruton, 3 minutes left. Great individual play by the captain to tie the game. Now we'll let you listen in overtime. There's one post. That's the same post. Fadden hits it twice. And then with 6 minutes left, keep your eye on number 9, Tyler Johnson for the Chiefs. He finds that loose puck. He's got to jump that high to get up to the level of the other guys. He's 5'9", scores a big goal.
Well, it certainly was a heartbreaking loss. We'll see how the veterans respond. One of them is Mike Wukterl, and he spoke with Cam Moon just a short time ago.
Mike Wukterl of the Lethbridge Hurricanes, down 3-0 in this series. Mike, obvious importance of this game. What's the feeling with the team right now?
Well, you can't come into a game, being scared to lose. You got to come in here with an open mind and just come to play. We're just going to take things, shift at a time, period at a time, and start small, to climb the big hill.
You play a real physical style. You're an agitator out there. How important is it for you to not lose any of that physical edge, but also not take penalties?
Well, there's obviously a fine line there, and playing with a fine line, obviously you're going to get caught sometimes you're not. But for me, I try and stay physical and stay out of the box and lure them into those kind of things.
Good luck tonight, Mike. Thanks.
Thanks a lot,
guys.
All right, if ever a team needed a second goal, it was last night's Lethbridge Hurricanes. But Dustin Tokarski, he was good. It's the best he's had to look in the series.
Yeah, he is good and has been good. Today's goaltender is all about positioning. It's all about filling the net and making saves look easy. This is his best of the entire playoffs. He just did a terrific job on that. That'll make every highlight reel package. And he's good at the side of the net. He's good in front of the net. 1.39 goals against average, Dan. That's number 1 in the Western Hockey League playoffs. And how about that 94.4 save percentage? That leads the team as well, the Western Hockey League as well. Boy, I hate that when you do that to me.
All right, this series and these playoffs have not been mean-spirited. There's not a lot of intimidation. But that said, last night's game had a little bit more of those elements.
Yeah, and it started before the puck was dropped at the center ice. Mike Wookdrol, you'll see him right here in confrontation. A little bit of push, a little bit of shove. And one thing about Mike Wookdrol, he does walk the talk. It's not an official game, folks, until Wookdrol's in a collision. And he's in a lot of these. But I thought the Chiefs answered back really well. You know, you take a look at the penalties, Dan. Last night's game with all these hits, 4 minor penalties. There's been 19 minors in 3 games. The biggest hit right there of the entire night on Justin McCray led to the game-tying goal.
Talk about taking a hit to make the play. That was McCray. By the way, he did get up, and just a short time ago, he spoke with Cam.
Justin McCray of the Spokane Chiefs last night, you took a hard hit to create a goal by Chris Bruton. Tell me about that hit. How you feeling today?
Well, obviously I didn't see that hit coming, but on the play, I just got the puck in the middle and tried to kick it out wide, and I didn't really see what happened. I saw the play after. Bruton made a nice move and went in on the goalie and buried it. So it was nice.
You got a chance to close out this series. How important is to get it done tonight?
Well, I think the big thing for us is not really worry about it. Just make sure we focus on what we do best and play our game 60 minutes. And I think if we do that, we should do all right.
Justin, good luck. Thanks for this.
Thank you.
Guys?
Okay, Cam, here's your goalkeeping matchup, the same as we see through the series. Dustin Tokarski, Juha Metsola. Game 4 right around the corner. Let's send it back to Dan.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. Should be a good one. Stick around. The drop of the puck for Game 4 of the WHL Final is coming up next right here on Strauss Herb, WHL Hockey on Show.
O'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all our sons command. With glowing hearts we seek thee right, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
That is Leah Sadler with the scarf and the gloves and a good voice. Pleasant good evening again from the broadcast booth. Game 4 of the WHL Finals on Shaw. The Spokane Chiefs trying to become the first U.S. team since the '98 Winterhawks to win the Western Hockey League Championship. They were the U.S. team that won it before back in '91. There's their goalkeeper, Dustin Tokarski. And there's the Lethbridge Hurricanes trying to stay alive. They've been good at home in these playoffs. They'll need to be great here tonight. Starting with that young man, Metsola. Andy Thiessen is from Seattle, top official in the Western Hockey League named. 28 years old. His next big assignment after this series, he'll be getting married in the summer. So best of luck to he and his fiancée, Derek Herman, 33 years old, from St. Albert, in his 10th year, working his 6th WHL final. So away we go for game number 4 from Lethbridge, Alberta. First goal last night, Lethbridge scored it. Took them till late in the second period. We thought it would be a big one. They couldn't hang on. You wonder how important the first goal would be once again for them here tonight. Lethbridge in the white uniforms going back to their own zone to chase it down, and that's Lucas Ibiza with some good speed coming out of his own zone. As he dished it off, he tries to follow it up, but it was taken off his stick. Roman trying to tie up King over there on the far side. Blackwater couldn't get it in deep. Lethbridge will try to do just that, but Glass intercepting. Trevor Glass, who's had assists in 4 straight games now. 3 in these championship games and 1 in Game 7 against the Tri-City Americans. Over on the far side, there's Ulmer putting the puck back into Lethbridge territory. Both teams making their first change. And suddenly the building is very quiet even in the first minute. And I think that's something, whoa, and there's a stolen puck almost by Johnson. Coper jumps on it. I was just going to complete the thought. You want to keep the home crowd in it, and that's why some early hits, a couple big saves, and of course a goal would certainly help the Lethbridge cause on that front. Johnson trying to dig after the puck. Puck does squirt free. Wookterl has it. He'll lug it out for the Hurricanes. As he gets to center, he flips it in, and giving chase will be Dan Iwanski. As the puck comes around the boards, Verstig sending it back in, delayed offside. Ulmer on the far side, lots of room to get it out to the center ice area. He dishes it off to Bruton. Bruton sends it in. He and May battling for the puck back to the net. Mitch Fadden comes to collect it. Fadden got the puck up to Zach Boychuk. Will we see more of the big line here tonight? Bowman putting the puck in.
Yeah, you almost think that the Hurricanes might have to play their big line of Fadden, Seaver, and Boychuk a little bit more. And you know what happens at expense of the fact of getting 4 lines in.
Here's Drayson Bowman shooting it. Goes off a stick high, out of play.
Strauss Herb WHL on Shaw is brought to you by the Strauss Herb Company of Products. Trust the tradition.
You know, a couple former Chief players had to convince Tim Speltz to draft this guy right here, Tyler Johnson. He does such a good job on the back check. Look at him lift the stick at Van Wright. Get that puck, keep that puck alive, and you know, he's just been dynamite. He scored that shorthanded goal and made it 3-0 in Spokane in Game 1 and got the overtime winner last night. How valuable is that kid?
Big goals, and he's had a nice playoff, and one of the real surprises for Spokane. There's a stolen puck. Carter Banks couldn't get a shot away. King down low. Hodson's behind the net. Now the puck squirting free for Spokane, and Reddington lugs it out up to Rutherford, who flips it in. It's bouncing towards Metzola, and he gets it on the second hop, and he holds on.
Michael Dick, coach of this Lethbridge Hurricane team, obviously never been this far in his career before, and I think I find it pretty interesting that he's enlisted the help of former coach here, Brian Maxwell, to help him. I mean, Maxie was in the city here because of the death of his dad, and he hung around to give Michael Dick a little bit of help, and you can't do a much better job than Maxwell has done. He's won 2 Memorial Cups.
And won a championship series against Lethbridge when coaching Spokane. Chiefs keeping that puck in for a moment. Let's a second time able to hold it in. Here's a long shot that sails off Metzola and then onto the glass. Compton taken down along these near boards. Kellner puts it back of the net. May has it there. May gets the puck to Jesse Craig. Craig cutting towards the middle. And now out to center ice. Ashton trying to get his stick on it there. Craig will try it again. Craig over to Orfino, who sends it in. Let's hit him after he dumped the puck in. So far, 2 shots on goal, both by Spokane. Lethbridge still looking for their first shot. They do get a good hit in there. And another one in the neutral zone as Wookterl finishes his man Johnson. And now Sabiza bumped off the puck. Battle for it back of the net. Lethbridge seemed to have some numbers there, but Spokane quickly support that puck. Wookterl along the far boards. Moves it to the line, but not out. Spurgeon gloves it down, plays it down low. Wookterl hits Spurgeon afterwards. Now the puck flips out of play. Wookterl very involved as usual on that shift.
Yeah, not surprising. Mike Wookterl on the offense. He's yakking right now, talking. He wants to intimidate. Well, that's certainly a good way to intimidate. Stefan Ulmer really felt the brunt of that. And on the back check, that's some good body work as well. And then I like what Wookterl did when he got the puck at the half wall in his own zone. He made the nice dump out, got it back into the neutral ice area.
With Spokane winning last night, that gives them 4 wins in a row, and that's the 9th time they've had a 4-game winning streak this year. And do you know that they went 4 years without a 4-game winning streak before this season? And they have 9 4-gamers plus this year. Here is
They know how to get it done.
back to May. Long shot. That goes wide. It bounces off the backboards onto the net. No whistle. It squirts free in front of the goal. But it was gobbled up by Bowman, and out comes Spokane. He rolls it from his own side of center. Might be icing. It is.
The Spokane Chiefs have played 10 road games this year, and 3 times they've only had the 1 goal allowed. 3 times they've shut out, and it's really a real trait to be tough to play against defensively. And Bill Peters' teams have been doing that.
Yeah, as you just saw that graphic, 6 out of 10 times. That's tough to combat. They're 8-2 on the road in these 08 playoffs. And they did have the best road record through the season. Here's Verstig out near the line. Verstig gets it to May. And his pass to no one in particular picked off, and Koper brings it over the line. Cherneyko on the back check, collecting the puck for Lethbridge, up to Iwanski. Iwanski chased back there as he plays it over to May. He has room to move it out, and he'll try a long pass back for Iwanski. Goes off his stick down into Spokane territory. Chiefs get it and knock it out to the neutral zone. Lethbridge still looking for their first shot. That's been a theme in game 1. They didn't get their first shot till the second period. Cherneyko rolls the puck in. Falk first to it on the backboards for Spokane. He'll try to backhand the puck up. Nope, he'll stop and play it over on this side to Spurgeon. Spurgeon's pass misses Letts, and it'll be another icing on Spokane.
You better make all the right reads when you're playing defense for both teams, especially in the face of the forecheck of the Chiefs. And this is a good quick read by Ben Wright. Watch him. He's scanning the ice. Everybody thinks he's going to go to that right boards, but he finds a breakout pass to Cherneyko up the middle. Eventually, look how quickly that puck got in on the offensive zone. So important for a defenseman to not only pick your first read, your first option. It's like a quarterback, Dan, in football. You got to read your second and third one.
Offensive zone face-off for the Lethbridge Hurricanes, won by Spokane. And the Chiefs, Spurgeon. Long pass up for Blackwater, and he almost got behind Wright. And that would have been a clear-cut breakaway, but Wright found it just in time. Sabiza. Now Hodson has it roll off his stick. Rutherford puts it back to the net for Blackwater. Roman will go in to try to help out for Spokane. Canes get it, and it's Hodson rolling it out to center. Big Cowan back to collect the puck, and he's chased all the way back. Plays it to Rutherford. Rutherford tries to hit Spurgeon or Cowan. It ends up on these near boards for Cowan. 2 Canes on him as it squirts free, but covering up there was Spurgeon, and he's able to get it out to the center ice area.
That entire sequence in the Spokane zone, a fair amount of Lethbridge pressure, but really poise. You got to be impressed with the poise of the Chiefs in their own zone. They never rush a pass.
Very business-like, this Spokane team. We've come to enjoy that about their game as it's rolled on to Metzel, and he holds on.
And one of the guys that's been such an acquisition, and a great acquisition for the Spokane Chiefs from Cochrane, Alberta, has been Trevor Glass. And I'll tell you what, this kid didn't come cheap. It cost the Chiefs 2 Bantam picks, to the Medicine Hat Tigers, but wow, has he been a valuable addition. And talking about reading the ice and making all the right plays and thinking the game well, Trevor Glass is as good as it gets.
Offensive zone face-off for Spokane, and they're able to win it. Bruton puts it back to the net. Mitch Wall around these near boards. Bowman try to dump it to the corner. Comes back to Glass, and he's able to put it down deep into the Lethbridge zone. Fadden up for Colton Sevier. Sevier's pass goes off Boychuk, rolls all the way back into Spokane territory. That's probably the 6th icing in our first 6 minutes.
Well, how does a team feel? Can you come back from 3-0? We hear a lot of people talk about it. Cam Moon, first-hand information. Can it be done?
Yeah, it can be done. 1990 playoffs, Saskatoon Blades, a team that I was fortunate enough to be a part of, were able to come back from a 3-0 deficit against the Lethbridge Hurricanes. It went to Game 7. Ultimately, Hurricanes won it in overtime of Game 7 right here in Lethbridge. Neil Howrluck had the game winner.
And Spokane, Cam, you'll recall, the only team to erase a 3-0 deficit in CHL history. All 3 leagues, they did that in 1996 against Portland. 1 Game 6 in double overtime and 1 Game 7, Bill, in overtime.
Wow.
So but it's not done very often in any sport.
Look at that face-off technique by Tyler Johnson. I haven't seen a guy choke up on the stick that high. I know that hand gets down low, but...
And he gets a shot on the face-off, and another opportunity as he puts it in front. There's going to be a penalty as well. I think Lethbridge were going to get it for knocking down McRae in front of the net. But I'll let you take that, Bill, because that was an interesting face-off by Johnson, and he not only won it, but he got a great opportunity.
And I think he drew a penalty on that play. You know, this is him right there. He's center, number 9. Look at him. You know, he's not very big, folks, number 9 for Spokane, until you put the tape measure around that guy's heart. It's huge. He's been terrific. Look at him in front of the net. That's all the work of Tyler Johnson. He draws that penalty. Chernenko in the box, 2 minutes. And the Chiefs get their first chance on a power play.
They are 3 for 11 with the man advantage. Only had one chance last night. In the playoffs, only 12 for 98. They won a lot of face-offs last night. They win the first one on this power play right here as Wall gets it back to Glass. He couldn't control it cleanly. They announce the penalty. Here's a chance for Bruton down low, but he can't get a shot away. Bruton down to Mitch Wall. Back to Spurgeon. Spurgeon over to Glass. Glass drawing Wookturl towards him, getting it down to Bowman now. Bowman tried to feed the point, but Wall had snuck in, and it goes all the way down the ice. Carter Banks trying to check Mitch Wall, but Trevor Glass has it. Glass from Cochrane, Alberta. We mentioned last night, 20 Alberta boys playing in this championship series. Puck goes all the way down the ice once more. First 6 shots in this game have been registered by Spokane. Lethbridge without a shot on goal. Falk had that pass easily picked off. Tokarski will leave it at the side of the net. Well, there's been one blemish in Spokane's game, and they've got this deep, so you're getting pretty nitpicky, but their power play has really not been overly special. And as we mentioned last night, away from home, they only have 2 power play goals on 43 opportunities, and this power play might be an indication as to why that stat is so glaringly weak. They're doing nothing on this one.
0.04%. That's
it's bad.
Yeah, I mean, there's no other way to sugarcoat that. It's a horrible power play on the road.
And rather mysterious because they were so good during the regular season on the power play. Ulmer able to hold it in. That said, they still have time here. 18 seconds remaining on the power plays. Blackwater operating from those half boards. Feeds it back to Ulmer. Ulmer's shot blocked by the first man. That's King, and he sends it down the ice.
Well, that is 3 times now that the Chiefs have been unable to keep that puck in at the line, and twice that the Hurricanes have got it out of the zone.
Here's Johnson putting the puck in. From behind the net, Boychuk had possession. Here's Blackwater on a wraparound attempt. Penalty is over. And here come the Hurricanes with numbers. 4 of them through center ice. Fadden leading the way. Boychuk's in front. There's the pass, and it's just behind Zach Boychuk. Here comes a 3-on-2 the other way. Led by Johnson. He goes in hard and shoots it well wide of the net. Karam's off the boards. Put in by Reddington on a delayed offside as we got chances at both ends. And for a moment, I thought we were going to flirt with end-to-end action.
Yeah, it wasn't going to happen very often in this series from what we've seen. But I think the Hurricanes have been a little bit guilty last night of mishandling pucks. Didn't you, Dan? It seemed like 5 or 6, 7 times in pretty good situations, pucks bounced off the sticks. And I made a comment, you don't get a second chance. It bounces off your stick, you're definitely on puck retrieve mode. You're not going to get an opportunity to do it again.
Ashton up to Sevier. 4 Chiefs back, and they throw it at Fadden, who had it in his skates, and they're saying, no, that's not too many men on the ice. The Spokane bench didn't like it. Now it goes back for Glass. They're in the halfway mark of the first period. You're in game number 4, and there's a stolen puck. Orfino comes up with it. There's a backhand. It's going to draw a penalty on the far side. A turnover. Interference will be the call. And one little mistake gets Spokane in some trouble.
This might be the only time in the series so far that the Hurricanes have come up the ice with a 4-man rush. And they really just, again, a bit of a mishandle. There's 3 of them. You'll see one more player come into your picture. This cross-ice pass by Fadden right there is mishandled, I think, high in the slot by Boychuk. Good work by Orfino in the offensive zone there to draw this penalty on Kellner for interference. Orfino did a good job of taking that puck off the back wall.
Lethbridge power play, 0 for 8 in the series. And we talk about Spokane on the road not doing much on the power play, but their penalty kill has been outstanding. They've only allowed one penalty kill goal against.
43 times. Does that mean they killed off 42 out of 43? Unbelievable.
Wow, exactly. I mean, it is to me.
And that's on the road.
Well, let's put it in a different perspective. This is 86 special team situations, and there's only been 3 goals scored. So 86 times they've been on the power play or penalty kill. Usually it's just all killed off one way or the other. 83. Yeah. The special teams are not a factor when Spokane's on the road. Let's see if Lethbridge can make it a factor here as Sevier tries to throw it in front. Intercept by Bowman, who sends it the length of the ice.
Yeah, one of the reasons that penalty kill for the Chiefs is so good, Dan, is they don't give you the seams. They do not allow you to get passes into the seam area. They're very, very aware of who's around the net in that slot area, and they collapse terrifically.
Here's King. He partially fanned on it. It is a shot towards the net. Lethbridge is on the shot clock. Puck coming out towards the line, but intercepted. And back down the ice, Compton sends it. Metzel is going to have to play it as Compton was hustling in there. And here comes May with 39 seconds remaining in the man advantage. And here comes Boychuk. Boychuk behind the net. Reddington meets him there, but Fadden collects the puck on the far side. Fadden trying to get a little bit of room. Nice little pass towards the point to Sabiza. Sabiza to May, who looked up once more and it hopped over his stick. Goes behind the net. Here's Fadden. Fadden looking for an option. Option A wasn't there. Option B is the point, and that's May. Back towards Fadden, but in his skates, it does go to Boychuk, cutting in front for King, and he couldn't pull the trigger. May winding up, shooting. That's blocked, and that hurts. May over here to Fadden in front of the net. And not intercepted because Coper's in such pain he can't get off. Penalty is over. Coper's in tremendous pain. That's why Spokane wants to lift it out. Boychuk anticipating that, jumped in the air to knock down the first one. Kellner gets it out to center ice. Coper finally limps his way over to the Spokane bench. Penalty over. Here comes Boychuk. He'll just dump it to the corner. Falk, back of the net, playing it around those boards. And now out, Blackwater will chase it. Can he get there first? Nope. Falk sends it back in, delayed offside. Spokane retreats the offensive zone. So the linesman puts his arm down and the Canes are out of their own territory. And jumping on the puck here is Fighton. He throws it in front. Ashton couldn't get the pass. Ashton almost got a stick on it as Spokane cut towards the front of their goal. And here's Craig from inside his own blue line. Craig's lead pass, Orfino's shot. That's gloved down by Tokarski. Now Bowman has it. No score here in the first period. Long lead pass up for Wall. He gets loose. Wall cutting in. Scores! Mitch Wall opens the scoring for Spokane as he got behind the Lethbridge defense. He put on the afterburners, scored the goal. It's 1-0 Chiefs.
You know, he took this pass basically facing his backside towards the Lethbridge zone. Watch it here. This is the difference in puck handling. Does a great job of getting in, a great job of accelerating, protects the puck with his body. Ben Wright can only take that play on him right there to try to get him his stick maybe off the ice from that side, but it's too little, it's too late. Wall opens the scoring. 1-0 is 6 of the playoff. Terrific head-man pass and a nice finish by Mitch Wall.
One of 5 20-goal scorers during the regular season. He opens the scoring. Here's the announcement on the goal.
To number 25, Ledko Coper. The time of the goal, 13-14. Wall, his 6th of the playoffs from Coper at 13-14.
So the Spokane Chiefs, they did not score last night first, and that was a rarity. That's now 18 games out of 21 in these playoffs where the Spokane Chiefs have scored first. And with that goal, they've outscored their opponents in the opening period now by a margin, get this, of 20-5. Wall flips the puck back into Lethbridge territory. And King's going to get it first as the building quietens down. Wright plays it up to Zach Boychuk. Long pass, trying to chase it down on the far side is Iwanski. He does come up with a loose puck. Iwanski putting on the brakes in that corner. Burstig wants the puck at the right point. May's got it there at the left point. Long shot, tips off the target. Here's Boychuk throwing it in front of the net. And Spokane, as they do so well, they seem to intercept a lot of those centering passes. And not only that, as Bill's pointed out many times, they intercept it and then they go on transition pretty darn quick. Long shot going wide of the Lethbridge goal. Versteeg chops it down the ice. This will be icing, and we're going to take a break. 5:21 to go, first period here in game number 4. There's your goal scorer, and there's your goal. 1-0. You're watching the WHL playoffs on Shaw.
Michael Dick, head coach of the Lethbridge Hurricanes. Michael, your team played a great game last night. You didn't get the result. Was that the talk before the game? Play a similar type effort here this evening?
Well, yeah. I mean, we had a similar type effort. We got to raise the level. I mean, we played well yesterday. It wasn't good enough, so we got to play better tonight.
Tell me about the impact that Jeff May came over in the trading deadline from the Prince Albert Raiders. How much has he meant to the team?
Oh, he's brought a lot of composure and leadership to our back end. We're going to need that right now.
Michael, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Guys.
Thanks, Cam. The away teams have done so well in this year's playoffs. This is 79th game. The away teams have won 43 times. You know, last year, 30 wins for the team that wore the dark uniforms. There's Juha Metsälä, the goalkeeper, focused on that face-off. Wukterl throws a hard hit on the far side, and that rocks the helmet of Ulmer. Takes it off. He lost his stick. He lost his helmet. But the Chiefs did not lose possession. They were able to get the puck in deep.
Dan, all those hits that you've seen, especially the ones by Wukterl, they have to result in change of possession of puck. Otherwise, they're just pretty hits. They've got to be effective. Something's got to happen out of that. There's another hit right there.
And of course, the most pronounced example of that in this series was on the game-tying goal last night. There's Wukterl. There's Ashton in front of the net. The net's off its support. That huge hit that McRae took in the center ice area did not result in a change of possession. In fact, it resulted in the game-tying goal last night by Bruton.
This is what I'm talking about. Now watch Wukterl go in on the forecheck. This is a hit right here. It's going to result in a turnover. There's the puck coming back into the offensive zone. They get a chance on net. And Wukterl right there trying again after the hit to get into the crease area.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy is leaving it all on the ice, isn't he? I mean, this is one kid that's been in 3 finals now, the Western Hockey League Championship. But that's the kind of hitting that really you'll take every time if you can, result in a changeover of possession.
57th playoff game for Mike Wukterl. Will it be his final playoff game in the Western Hockey League? And he's showing that he does not want that to be the case here tonight, as the offensive zone faceoff by Lethbridge is being contested for on these near boards. And it's Spokane finally getting it out, and jumping on it is Rutherford. He's trying to get loose, try to get around Sabiza. Nice job by Hodson to follow up. Then Hodson's hit by Blackwater. One of the players lost his stick, and here's Rutherford trying to take advantage as Craig had lost his stick. But meantime, Carter Banks will start the other way. Banks sending it in. King giving chase. First to it. Lost his edge a little bit. Another player lost his stick. That was Reddington. He picks it up again for Spokane as they battle for the puck back of the net. King gets it, plays it to the point, but nobody there. Sabiza will chase it back down in his own zone. Lucas Sabiza getting better all through this season. Remember, it's only his first year in the Western League. This young man with the puck, shooting it, leads all defensemen in points in the WHL playoffs. McRae over on the far side. Here's a 2-on-2. Koper now to Johnson. Johnson shooting it on goal, and Metsälä turns it aside. Koper puts it to the corner. McRae jumps on it there, throws it towards the front of the net. Johnson has it, back to Falk. Here's a long shot, deflects, and Metsälä gets his pad on. He had no idea. He just had good positioning there, and his positioning allowed his left skate, lower pad, to make that save. That was almost a 2-0 goal for Spokane.
Justin McRae was right in behind him. When you take a look at Juha Metsälä, I think the Spokane Chiefs on the season have played against some excellent goaltenders in that U.S. division. And I think the U.S. division had the best goaltenders in the Western Hockey League, really. You start with Leland Irving in Everett. You have Chet Pickard in Tri-City, Jacob DeSeras in Seattle. And then they, as I said earlier, they played Tyson Sexsmith in Vancouver. So they haven't taken no for an answer, the Chiefs haven't. Metsälä is a smaller goaltender on the smaller side. He's got to play big. If you're small, you don't want to play small.
5'10", 165 is the height and weight listed of Juha Metsälä. Here comes Bowman in over the line. There's a pass just behind Wall. And now Lethbridge able to get possession, but Dan Iwanski plays it back towards Wright, and Iwanski comes up with a loose puck. 17-year-old Iwanski hit by Bowman. And Wright gets it up through the neutral zone. Boychuk had it roll off his stick. Reddington plays it off the board, back inside Lethbridge territory. Shots 9-4. The score 1-0 in favor of Spokane on the Mitch Wall goal, his 6th of these playoffs. That was at 13-14 of this first period. Here's Kellner, and here's Compton. Compton rolls the puck in. Letts giving chase. Letts and Craig battle. Verstig comes up with a loose puck. Good job there by Craig, allowing Verstig to maintain possession and flip it back into Spokane territory. Gobbling it up there is Glass. This young man's played a lot of hockey the last 2 years. Trevor Glass, part of that Medicine Hat championship team. Played all those games in the final last year and all those Memorial Cup games as well. And hoping to play in some more of those Memorial Cup games.
Dan, I got to tell you right now, this Spokane team right now, I think, is playing as well as they did in Game 1 in Spokane. They are absolutely perfect in pretty well every zone. 9-4 shots on goal. They're efficient. They're quick. Their reads are terrific in all zones.
I don't think Lethbridge really has had a scoring opportunity to note yet.
And they're really led, this Spokane team, by this guy here, Chris Bruton. What a job that he has done. Chris Bruton, you know, got so excited about playing in the playoffs last year with Everett that he said when he was taking over the captaincy of this hockey club, he took it upon himself to email every guy on the team, find out how his summer's going. He arrived 2 weeks early at camp to help any kid that had trouble coming in. He knew all the players that were coming in, and he has just been such a leader for this hockey club.
Wow, what a city. I mean, and you forget how young they are. I know in his case, obviously a 20-year-old, but still, to take all that upon himself, to know that, you know, this could be a good year for us. We had a pretty nice playoff the year before.
That's what he told General Manager Tim Speltz. Speltz said that he told him how good this team was going to be this year.
Isn't that something?
Huh? Amazing.
And then Tim Speltz hasn't hurt the cause either. Made some nice trades for this Spokane team along the way. And here they are up 3-0 in the championship series and up a goal with a minute to go in the opening period of game number 4. Metzela from behind his net plays it over to the far side. Fadden has it. Fadden has it cut off, gets it back again, and it's shot back into Lethbridge territory. Wright sends it all the way down the ice. And above everything else tonight, and I think Spokane can take the spirit out of you in a hurry, but I don't think Lethbridge is looking like a team right now that lost a heartbreaker last night.
Yeah, that's exactly, Dan. Bang on. I think the one real big deal that if I was the Hurricanes, I'd say the one thing I don't want to have happen is I don't want to see that Montreal Canadian-clad uniform team over there, the Chiefs, celebrate in our building here. If they're going to win it, let them win it in Spokane, but this is a Lethbridge team that really has to make sure their body language doesn't send volumes of messages to the Chiefs, because it's been all Chiefs' first period.
Bruton puts the puck back to the net. Sabiza reaches to get it for Lethbridge over to Wuchtero on the far side. And now out to the neutral zone it goes. Bruton right there to cut off that one. Sends it to Bowman. Bowman puts it in front for Wall. Trying to turn to get a shot. It's wide of the net. 20 seconds to go in the period. Sabiza missed it back at the goal. Wall throws it in front. It's sitting right there, but Bowman couldn't get a stick on it. Fadden able to get it over on this near wall, and King got it out. It's flipped right back in again. Metzela grabs it, and Fadden will control behind his own net as the seconds wind down here in the first period. A very strong first period by Spokane. They didn't give Lethbridge a sniff, and they scored a goal, the 1-0 goal by Mitch Wall with 6 minutes to go in the first period. Tokarski going to the bench and the dressing room with a 1-0 lead as we send it back to Dan Elliott.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. 9-4 the shots through the first 20 minutes of play. Coming up in the first intermission, we'll hear from Canes forward Adam Chernako, get his thoughts in the first 20 minutes of play. The head coach of the New Jersey Devils, also owner and governor of the Red Deer Rebels, Brent Sutter, will join me here at our spot ringside, plus Cam Moon will be back to discuss what he thought of the first period of play. That's all coming up next right here on Stroh's Herb, WHL Hockey on Shaw. Well, welcome back to Lethbridge. This is 1-0 after one period of play in Game 4 of the WHL Final. Time now to check in with Cam Moon, who's standing by with Adam Chernako of the Lethbridge Hurricanes.
Adam Chernako here at Lethbridge Hurricanes. Adam, tell me about the first period from the Lethbridge point of view. How did you think it went?
Well, I mean, we didn't come out as strong as we did last game, but I mean, we're there. We're not quitting, and we're down one, but one goal's nothing. One goal leaves nothing in this league. So,
was there anything that Spokane was doing that was making it difficult?
No. It's we're making it hard on ourselves, but like I said, we got to play like we did yesterday.
Now you come into a series or into this game down 3-0 in the series. Does it alleviate any pressure? I mean, you might as well just go out there and let it all rip, eh?
Yeah, I mean, we got nothing to lose. We got to take it shift by shift and period by period, and the outcome will come itself.
Adam, thanks for this.
Thank you.
Adam Chernako of the Lethbridge Hurricanes. So fired over to the Dan Elliott palatial suite.
Cam Moon, you better be careful what you say. I'm sitting here with your boss right now, Brent Sutter, of course, head coach of the New Jersey Devils, as well as owner and governor of the Red Deer Rebels. Great to see you. I know you prefer not to be here, but what do you think of the first period thus far between Spokane and Lethbridge?
Well, it's been a good period. Obviously Spokane's showing what type of team they are, and it's obvious why they're up 3-0 in the series. They've played well again. They don't give up a whole lot in their own zone. They do a good job blocking shots, and they got some pretty good offensive punch too.
You've obviously won a Memorial Cup with Red Deer. You won a Stanley Cup as a player, World Juniors. I mean, the list goes on and on. How tough, though, is it, especially with these young kids, to get them to win and get to this point, be able to win a championship, to play so many games?
Well, to get to the Memorial Cup's a tough wall, but it's a schedule that's very similar to the National Hockey League, and these kids learn a lot about just not about the game, but about life in general, and it builds a big character amongst themselves and as a group, and becoming a real solidified team. And it's not easy to get to the finals in the Western Hockey League, let alone win it. And then once you get there, once you win it, now you got to take the next step to win the Mem Cup, and that's a whole nother level in itself.
Yeah, it only gets tougher along the way.
It does.
Maybe you can just tell us about your season in New Jersey. What was it like for you making the jump from the junior to the pro level?
Well, it wasn't as big, I guess you might say, as people might think. It wasn't for myself anyway. Obviously, played at that level for a long time, and you have a good feel for what the players are thinking and what they're feeling as professional athletes, and the grind of it all throughout the season. And again, it's no different anywhere else or anything else you do. When you're involved with people, it's how you're surrounded with good people, number one, and everyone works extremely hard. And it's it wasn't as bad. It wasn't as I won't even say bad's a word. It wasn't as big as you'd expect it to be. It wasn't for myself in a way, and yet I did have a knowledge of how things work there.
Yeah, I guess because the biggest question for a lot of people when you make that move to the next level is how do you go from dealing with kids to dealing with adults and guys who are making millions of dollars and maybe don't want to listen to the coach as much?
You know what? Again, you gotta set an identity within your team, and it comes from your head coach, and the guys were very receptive for the most part, right from the get-go. It takes some time, obviously, for them to adjust to me, for them to get to know them, their personalities, and it just took some time. And we basically, for ourselves in New Jersey this year, we played a 72-game schedule, not an 82-game schedule, because we didn't get playing to the 11-game mark because it was such a transition for, we had 10 new players, we had a whole new, basically a new training staff, new coaches. There was actually 16 different hockey personnel to start the season with, and it took some time for everybody to adjust. But once we got going, after the 10-game mark, we played hockey, and when we did that, we ended up finishing 20 games over 500 from that point on.
Now, I want to ask you about your Red Deer team. You named Jesse Wallen as the new head coach, taking over for your brother Brian, who was there for the 1 year. What was it about Jesse that you thought now was the time that he was ready to take on the main job?
Well, Jesse came 3 years ago now, and he worked as an assistant coach for 2 years with me, and I just like the way Jesse's mannerisms are, his principles and how he deals with things. He's in a lot of ways. And again, I'm not saying it's right, wrong, or indifferent, but in a lot of ways he's very similar to myself as far as the emotion, intensity. He's not afraid to get in people's faces, and at the same time he's very respectful, and he's one of those coaches that players are going to love to play for. He's going to get the max out of you. He's going to push you to do the right things, and yet he is coming into a new position as head coach, and it'll take him a period of time to adjust to that, but he's more than qualified to handle it. And again, he's got someone there to work with him in Dallas Gom, who's been with me for 8 years as an assistant coach in the organization. So I think between the both of them, they're going to do an outstanding job.
Now, will he be fortunate and lucky enough to have your son Brandon there, do you think, next year with him?
I don't know. That's going to be Carolina's decision in training camp. He went to the American League when the Red Deer was done this year, and he played extremely well down there. I think he finished the last 6 or 7 games of the regular season, so he had 6 or 7 games of American Hockey League at a key time down the stretch in the regular season. Then he played in a tough 7-game series, and they just didn't dress him. He played in all situations. He killed penalties, played power play, played 5-on-5, played against the other team's top players. So what happens in fall, who knows? To me, it's tough because I'd love to have him back in Red Deer, and yet if he's good enough to play in the National Hockey League, and that's where he should be playing. If Carolina thinks that's where he should be, and yet so that's the bother me. And then, but as an owner and president of the Rebels, I'd love to see him back there too. But whatever's right for him, that's the way it should be.
Well, I appreciate you stopping by. Best of luck with the Rebels and the Devils as well next year.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Brent Sutter, head coach of the New Jersey Devils, owner of the Red Deer Rebels. We've got to take a quick break. We've got more coming up from Game 4 of the WHL Final here on Shaw. Welcome back to the NMAX Center in Lethbridge. The Spokane Chiefs leading Game 4 of the WHL Final 1-0 through 1 period of play. Mitch Wall, his 6th of the postseason, the lone goal so far in this period, Cam Moon. And after talking to your boss, who, by the way, says you better be careful what you say about him.
Of course.
What did you think of that first period? Because for a team like Lethbridge, who obviously is desperate, didn't seem like it was their best period.
Yeah, they have to be better. They have to be better than that to keep this series going. It wasn't a disastrous first period, but it wasn't quite good enough. Spokane was really on it. They did a great job of forechecking in the Lethbridge end. They bottled things up in their own end, and Lethbridge is going to have to work extremely hard to generate any scoring opportunities. So, and I'm sure that's being made known to them, but they will need to be better in the second and third periods to get a win.
Now, Bill and Dan have gone on and on about Chris Bruton and his leadership skills, and rightfully so. In terms of the finals, how important is it to get these main guys, these 20-year-olds, these veterans, to be the ones leading? And not to take a shot at Mitch Fadden, but I mean, he has been held pointless in this series, and we really have not noticed him a lot. I mean, yesterday he had a couple of chances, but just not doing enough for his team.
No, it absolutely makes all the difference in the world. When you have your older players, your leaders, your 19 and 20-year-old guys all on board, all going towards one common goal, that throws everything over the top. If you've got 1 or 2 of those guys going in a different direction or looking beyond the postseason, it goes in the tank real quick. And I'm not saying that's the case in Lethbridge, but definitely in Spokane's circumstance, their leaders have been unbelievable. Chris Bruton's been one of those guys. Trevor Glass has been one of those guys with the experience that he has. Trayson Bowman has been one of those guys, and it looks like they really do have everybody going in the right direction. And Lethbridge has had that also to get to this point. It isn't easy to get to the WHL final, but I think it's crucial to have your older players going in the right direction.
Yeah, and obviously you get to a frustration point in the final when things aren't going well for you like it has for Lethbridge. I want to ask you a little bit about their breakout, because in the first 2 games they really struggled getting the puck out of their own zone. Yesterday they did a better job. They really had their 2 wingers almost out of the blue line. They're really pulling them out, trying to just create a little bit of more room for the defensemen.
Yeah, they're just trying to stretch things a bit. And when you do that, you're going to be able to get the puck to them, and now you're chipping it, just trying to get it past the defenseman, and then put the pressure on and look for for some sort of turnover, and they're just trying to stretch things out. But boy, Spokane plays so well against that. And they're obviously a very well-coached hockey team. Bill Peters has done a great job with these Chiefs, and they don't give you a whole heck of a lot. Your margin of error is just so minimal. If you don't get the right pass or the right tip, it's just a turnover, and they come right back at you.
Mike Wookturl, are you enjoying watching him down there?
He's a treat.
Or listening to him.
He's a treat. He's right in there. He's drilling guys all over the place. And every time he's on the ice, he's the focus of the opposition. Certainly verbally, because they give him what for, and he's quite used to it by this point. I mean, he thrives on that sort of environment, but I really like the moxie this guy has. He gets in there and he hits everybody.
Well, thanks a lot for stopping by here, Cam. We'll take a look at the CHL out-of-town scoreboard. One other game going on, the CHL to the Q final. Gatineau up 4-1 on the Huskies. Claude Giroux's got a goal and assist. Guess what? He's got 48 points in the playoffs thus far. That is a club record. Of course, they lead that series 2-1. Looks like they're on the way to going up 3-1 in this series.
The WHL, the leading supplier to the NHL for over 40 years. 20% of all NHL players got their start in the WHL. The WHL, your game, your future.
Mitch Wall's got the lone goal in this game. He is from Seal Beach, California. Sounds like a nice place to go surfing, not to play hockey, but he's getting the job done. Let's check in with Dan and Bill and get their thoughts.
Okay, Dan. Well, one of the things that just jumps out at me is the first period shot totals for Lethbridge in the series so far. They've played the 4 periods. And they only have 19, which averages out obviously to under 5 and just 4 in that period, Bill.
And you'll see here on the highlights, they don't do much with the puck. You can't afford these kind of plays right here. Fadden going down left wing. Watch piece of 5. As soon as Justin McRae picks him up, great back checking. That forces Fadden to make a pass into the slot area that's not picked up. Watch where this pass goes that Fadden makes. It goes right to nobody. And just flat out beat Boychuk. He couldn't get a stick on it. He wasn't facing the right way to begin with. That's the problem. Now watch King. Great job by Fadden to keep it in. Here's King. He mishandles the puck in front of the net. You don't get those second chances. You get a good look at it here. That's a good job by Fadden. A nice pass by Boychuk, and King just cannot handle that puck in that spot here. This is the goal we're talking about. I want you to watch something, folks. Bowman right here. Stop it right here. Now, in the middle of the screen is Mitch Wall, the goal scorer. Now, you watch what happens when Bowman realizes he's got all that time. Wall says, I'll get going. How far does he go? He gets all the way up to the far blue line and splits the defense and makes this play to open the scoring. That is just great communication. A real nice finish there by Wall, but that's the difference. They're on the same page. Bowman with a terrific assist on that play, and that's the only scoring in that first period.
Yeah, they announced Coper in the building, but I didn't think it was Coper who made the pass. Wall gets the goal at 13-14, and it's Spokane leading 1-0 after 1 in Game 4. Stand by. Lots more to come. You're watching the Western Hockey League playoffs on Shaw. Welcome back to Lethbridge, Alberta. Dan Russell alongside Bill Wilms, and Lethbridge down by 1, looking for some offense from the big boys who you keyed on at the start of the series, Bill.
Yeah, well, that's what they've done in the playoffs, but in this series, Boychuk 2 goals, Fadden not a point, and King, he's got the 1 goal, and they're feeling probably very much like Zach Hamill at Everett did, or Michael Repik at Vancouver, or Colton Yellowhorn at Tri-City. Between those 3 guys, they got a total of 3 goals against this Spokane Chief Hockey Club, and that's what Cam Moon was saying. They are tough to play against. Your margin of error ever so slight.
15 wins, 5 losses in the 08 playoffs. That's how hard they have been to play against. And it's been a long time since they lost a game in regulation. 12 straight games. Spokane has not lost a game in the 3 periods. The only losses were those Tri-City overtime games in the Western Conference Final. So we start this second period. Teams at full strength. Fadden puts the puck down to Wookturl. We've got Fadden, King, and Wookturl to start this second period. So obviously Michael Dick trying to find some combinations to make something happen.
Well, you try to get Wookturl out to create that offense with that physicality that you've seen for most of this series, and especially in that second period.
Strauss-Herb WHL on Shaw is brought to you by the Strauss-Herb Company of Products. Trust the tradition.
Well, just to punctuate it further, against Brandon, Lethbridge scored 19 goals in round 1. They scored 17 goals against the Ice, 19 against Calgary in round 3, but only 5 so far in the championship series against this Spokane team. It's a high-octane offense that has been shut down by Spokane.
And having dinner last night with Peter Labardius from Sportsnet, he said that Kitchener Ranger team is better than a Spokane Chief team. He says they've got 4 or 5 game breakers, high-end guys that are really, really explosive.
Bruton puts the puck in. Craig first to it on the backboards, now gets it to Versting. Almost stripped of the puck. There's Wall taking the shot high over top the net. Rutherford on the far side. Being checked there by Sevier, but Rutherford stays with it, puts it back to the net. Spokane making a change. Versting gets it up to Boychuk. Boychuk playing now with Carter Banks on this line. And Sevier also out there. So we're looking at the line combinations that Michael Dick is throwing out. Spokane has their rush broken up at the Canes blue line. May. Long pass right on the stick of Fighton as he jumped over the bench. The puck was right there for him. Fighton throws it towards the front of the net. Puck still's there for Fighton. Can he get a stick on it? Orfino in there. Hodson, number 17 for the Hurricanes. Using his body, but couldn't quite keep control. The puck is chipped out. May comes over to make sure Spokane doesn't break out with an outnumbered attack. Put back into Spokane territory. Tokarski puts it to the corner. Fighton and Hodson trying to get it. Orfino in there as well. Rutherford for Spokane. And Roman. There's a chance for Hodson, and it goes over top the net. Just a little high and a little wide. And a very rare scoring chance there for Lethbridge. Falk. Long lead pass. Tipped back into Lethbridge territory by Andre Roman. Yudlowski is out there, number 6 for Lethbridge. He has not played much in these playoffs, and he didn't play much in the first period. In fact, it might be his first shift. I'm not sure. Certainly we didn't call his name in the opening period. That's him with the puck right now, Yudlowski, who hails from Edmonton in his first year in the Western League. Reddington for Spokane. He hails from Port Coquitlam, British Columbia. Reddington gets it up to Letts, and now it's icing as Letts did not touch the puck.
Well, you said not many scoring chances. Hodson, the big guy, finds himself in a pretty good position. 17 after that cycle in the corner. There he is. He's going to get to the top of the crease area, or top of the slot area. There's a shot, and he got too high at Tokarski. Maybe going down a little bit. Or did Ulmer get a piece of this? If Ulmer didn't get a piece of this, he was certainly very close to it. But that's some hard work to get that shot. Goes over top of the net, and Tokarski way out of the net.
Spokane rolls the puck in. That was Lefko Koper sending it in deep. May first to it, around the boards to Wookturl. He missed it. Spurgeon at the line, long shot. That's gloved down before it reached the net by Craig. Craig puts it back to the net. There's an interception. It's Johnson. He scores again! The youngster has done it again for Spokane. Tyler Johnson on a backhand up high after a turnover behind the Lethbridge bench, and the Spokane Chiefs now lead 2-0.
They're so quick in first of all, creating a turnover. That puck is just kept in by the defenseman Spurgeon. Look how quickly the Chiefs get to it. And then, yeah, it's Tyler Johnson's cue. When that puck comes off that back wall, he gets in a spot where 2 defensemen have got about 6 feet between that guy and the defenseman. He makes him pay for it. Wow, the kid just continues to amaze.
And here's the announcement.
Johnson. The assist to number 15, Justin Falk, and number 17, Justin McCrae. The time of the goal, 3:37. Johnson, his 5th.
I'm not sure I saw all the assists that way. In fact, I thought it was 25, Lefko Koper, that sent it in front of the net. We know Johnson scored the goal, and here they are back to the attack. Glass, his shot knocked down by Sevier, and Sabiza has it. You can hear a pin drop here in Lethbridge. It's the quietest we've heard this building in all the visits we've had here this year. The home team down 2-0 in the game, down 3-0 in the series.
They may be quiet, Dan, but you know one thing.
Well, let's get the chance first. And nope, it's Carter Banks putting it wide of the net.
The fans in this city are very, very knowledgeable. They may be quiet, but there's a ton of admiration to this point on how well the Chiefs are playing. And you know, the last time the Hurricanes came up the ice, it seems like they're coming up a little bit slower. The guy with the puck is always looking for somebody to pass it to. And the guys without it gotta cut hard into those holes, especially in the neutral ice area. If you skate without the puck in the neutral ice area, that's between the blue lines, with a lot of acceleration and a lot of speed, the defense will find you. But boy, the heart is pretty low right now in the Hurricanes.
Tyler Johnson, the overtime hero last night at 6:20. There's another chance it goes wide of the net. Scores what you would think would be an all-important second goal here. And that's his third of the series, the third of the finals. I mean, he's one of the most valuable players for Spokane in this championship series.
Yeah, no kidding.
And they are going to name an MVP after the series is over.
And we talked about it last night. 208th drafted player. Last pick for the Chiefs. Boy, you just never know, do you?
Nope. Versteeg plays it back to Wright. Wright gains the red line. He'll send it in deep. Tokarski has it bounce over his stick, back of the net. Fighting on the far boards. Letts tries to get it out, could not. Held in. Here's Jadlowski's shot that tips off the target. Orfino first to it in the corner. Comes off the corner boards with it. Tries a pass. It ends up in front of the net. Here's an opportunity. They score! Hodson scores for Lethbridge, and they get back in the game. It's 2-1.
Hodson had the chance earlier. Orfino with good work to cycle that puck. Picked it up, he threw it back to Hodson, but it somehow bounced into the crease area. Orfino taking a look. Never a bad play to get it in the crease area. And you know, that puck has just bounced off Justin Falk. Hodson, two big guys battling for it, and he makes them pay. And really, really important at this point for the Hurricanes to get back in this game quickly.
Orfino gets the first assist. And Jadlowski, just inserted into the lineup, gets the second assist at 5:28. So 2 minutes after the goal, we get 2 minutes after the goal by Spokane, we get Lethbridge on the scoreboard tonight. All right, Cowan puts the puck back at the goal. Tries to get it back again. Now Roman. And now Cam Moon.
Thanks a lot, guys. I'm standing here with Gilbert Blackwater, the father of Judd Blackwater, and Chiefs. Gilbert, you must be very proud watching your son play here in the Western League Final.
Yes, it's really exciting to come back here in front of friends and family, and Judd is really excited too.
Well, yeah, being from Lethbridge and Judd playing his minor hockey here in Lethbridge. Growing up, what type of young man was he? How important was hockey in his life?
Oh, it was everything to him. You know, he was a crazy. He was walking around with one a little hockey stick, and we just have a ball. Like, he'd take his socks and roll them up, and he'd lose all the socks in the house, because you know, he rolled them up into a ball and played ball hockey in the house.
Gilbert, enjoy the game. Thanks for this.
Thank you very much.
Guys,
you know, the Chiefs spent today on the reserve and standoff just outside of Fort McLeod. That was a great thrill for both the kids and the Chiefs players, certainly for Judd Blackwater.
There was Hodson again on the doorstep, almost tying this hockey game up. He got an opportunity, and Lethbridge has got some life, and the building does too. Here they come. Boychuk out of his own zone. Boychuk passes it off to Versteeg. Offside, Sevier in a step too soon on this near side.
Yeah, Hodson has really been, I think, maybe the most dangerous player, and he should be at his size. He's stepped up really well. Again, you got to make contact. Reddington taking that hit on the forecheck. There it is. Again, if that puck ends up being a turnover of possession, it's a good thing, but much more often than not, it's ending up outside the blue line. But this crowd's in it now. Shots on goal, 11-7 favoring the Chiefs. But, boy, at 2 goals, a whole lot different lead than a 1 goal. This is really still motivating this Lethbridge Hurricane team, and well as should. They're coming on.
You get the feeling, though, Bill, that Spokane is almost more in a comfort zone when they have a 1-goal lead than they do 2. Here's Wall trying to throw the puck in front of the net.
They do protect well, don't they?
Oh, yes. Bruton plays it to Wall. Bowman's in front of the net. Goes back to the line. Long shot by Falk. Deflects off the target. Bruton collects it. Bruton comes off the boards. Couldn't feed the blue line. That was intercepted nicely by Fighton. Now Cowan. Cowan brings the puck in over the line. Here's Wall. Wall going wide. Wall centering it. Rutherford can't get a shot away. Now Mitch Wall plays it back to the glass at the line. The shot is blocked. Nice block there, and it hurts. Spurgeon hustles to keep the puck in. Fans don't think he did. And now we do get a whistle. And they're going to call it offside. It might be the referee helped the linesman make that offside call.
Obviously, these things are a lot easier to do. Take a look at Jared Cowan. Let me just say this about this guy. It's great job. Oh, there's a block shot. You know, Orfino makes that block, Dan, and it's, as I was going to say, so much easier to do when you're up or when you're within a goal.
Yeah, they're coming on here, and they've got some life, and Orfino's had a strong period here. It's going to be a penalty. Not sure who's getting it. Might be Lethbridge. The arm's in the air. Lethbridge touches the puck, and we'll see if that spoils their momentum at all. They're taking a penalty in their own zone, and we have a little push afterwards as well.
There's an elbow on the call. Certainly the penalty. We'll have one look here. There's the missed hit by May. Rutherford keeps the feet moving. No question about it. Woodrow on the hit. If he didn't make contact the first time, he certainly wanted to the second time. Is that a roughing call, Dan? You probably got it better than I have. Michael Dick not happy with it, and it comes at a time where this team's got a little bit of momentum.
They call it roughing. It could have been elbowing. It doesn't matter. It's 8-12 of the period. What does matter for Lethbridge is they kill it. They must kill it. I know it's only the second period, but you don't want to spot this Chiefs team another 2-goal lead. Here's Ulmer. That's if you're Lethbridge. Roman. Blackwater misses it. Sabiza partially fan on it. Boychuk tips it, can't get it out. And he had a notion to go quickly the other way. Here's Roman cutting in. Rolls off his stick. Second power play of the night for Spokane. Rutherford in that corner. Blackwater 23 trying to dish it out. We just heard from his dad. Here's Blackwater coming out. Pass towards Ulmer. He can't reach it cleanly. Ulmer puts it back down to Blackwater. Back to Ulmer. Blackwater again. As he cuts towards the net, it rolls off his stick. Sabiza takes him down, but Roman gets the puck. He does give it away to Boychuk, who fell, got back up again, maintained possession, and sends it down the ice. Falk has the puck. And now Ulmer will come out on this near side with a minute remaining on the power play. Just past the 9-minute mark here of the second period of Game 4 as Metzola gloves it down, plays it around on this near side. Nothing but room for the Hurricanes as they send it down the ice.
Certainly the fans into this big time right now, applauding everything the Hurricanes do well.
It's their home ice advantage that they're looking for. Get those fans in it, and Hodson's had a big period here as he cuts in short-handed. King as well. Obviously the last gasp here for Lethbridge. They've got to make something happen here tonight, and at this stage of the game, they're coming on. May puts it wide of the net. They're still short-handed. Versteeg puts it down the boards to King. Glass cuts it off. Bowman gets it out to Spurgeon. Spurgeon gains the red line. Here comes Bruton. Bruton against Fadden, throws it in front! Oh, and it just went wide of the net. Wall was standing in front of the goal. Golden opportunity all alone as Bruton got him the puck. It's still 2-1. Now an offside stops the play, and Fadden doesn't like it too much. 9:46 to go, second period here in Lethbridge. And that goal by Hodson has made it a 1-goal game. You're watching the WHL Finals on Shaw.
They're pretty good all over the place. This is their last scoring chance. Good job riding the player out. Mitch Wall, ever so dangerous. This is Bruton. He keeps those feet moving, and he will get it to the front of the net. That might be one of the better saves Metzela's made tonight.
Certainly one of his most timely of this series. They need him to shut the door right now. There's a chance and a shot from a sharp angle that deflects off the target. And now the Hurricanes with possession, but Sabiza almost lost it. continuing to fight for some real estate over there, and he gets just that. Coper fell, and here comes Sabiza up to Banks. Banks puts it in, not deep, however. Cowan gets it off the boards, back out to center ice. Gobbled up there by Lethbridge only for a moment. Johnson steals it, takes the backhand shot. Another one by Johnson as he cut in. Boy, is he fast. We've seen Johnson through this series how quick he is, but he just, as soon as he gets a turnover, bang, he is right in on the goalie. Tokarski gave it away at the side of the net, but Lethbridge couldn't make him pay. Now it comes around the near side here. McRae gets it out to center, and Verstig will send it right back in again. 8:49 to go in the second period. Dan Russell with Bill Wilms and the Shaw crew in Lethbridge for Game 4. If Game 5 is required, it'll be Friday night, back here in Lethbridge. Centering pass, intercepted. And now we got a penalty behind the play. As Spokane touches the puck, there's going to be a hook on Ulmer, it appears, and Lethbridge will go to the power play.
Boychuk, I think, draws this penalty. It is on Ulmer. We'll have a look at it. 11 white. Boychuk right in that zone there, and Ulmer's trying to say, well, my stick's not in my hands. It really doesn't matter. Andy Thiessen says, you're going to the box. Terrific opportunity with a pretty good penalty killer, by the way, I might add there for the Chiefs. Stefan Ulmer in the box. Great opportunity for the Hurricanes.
And they're still looking for their first power play goal of this series. Sabiza along these boards, hard in front of the net, and a shot over top the goal by Boychuk. He was going right to that top right-hand corner, and he just put it up high. Boy, can he shoot it in a hurry. Boychuk had the tying goal on his stick. May shoots it, blocked by Cowan. Battle for it over here. Sabiza can't hold it, but it does stay on Boychuk's possession as he gets over to Fadden. Fadden cutting to the middle. Still Fadden with the puck. Fadden roaming around in this Spokane zone. Plays it over to Zach Boychuk. Boychuk back out to May. Now to Sabiza, shoots, deflects off the target, and it might have hit a couple of bodies along the way. Falk, I think, was the last one. May barely holds it in. Down low, Fadden to Boychuk to Fadden. A shot on goal from the sharp angle, stopped by Tokarski and cleared by the Chiefs.
The one thing you could talk about Spokane is they do have a good read on Mitch Fadden. Dan, every time Fadden touches the puck, he's got about 3 feet of space to make a play.
Boychuk handling the puck and then having it roll off his stick and then down the ice. The Chiefs send it. 38 seconds remaining on the power play. 7:10 to go in the second period. Right, up to Wookturl, but off the stick, out of play, just down to our left.
We talk a lot about Zach Boychuk and the way he can skate, hustle, and make plays with the puck in the slot area. It's pretty good release on that Spiza pass, but for whatever reason, it seems like the Hurricanes are trying to get a lot of shots up top. And probably 3 or 4 times now, I think we've counted guys firing the puck over top of the net.
Still 25 seconds to go on this Lethbridge power play. Sevier over to Wookturl. Wookturl out there with the man advantage. Playing the puck out here to Hodson. Here's Wright. Over to Craig. Craig back to Wright. Has Hodson over here to take the pass. Hodson with the goal for Lethbridge here in the second period, coming off the boards. Now here's Sevier. Pass cut off before it got to Craig. Penalty over. Spokane back at full strength. Both teams 0 for 2 with the man advantage here in Game 4. Wright holding the puck. Now here's Hodson. He's also taken down. No call there. Sevier behind the net. Here's Wookturl. Wookturl back to Wright. Wright had it roll off his stick, and it comes out to the neutral zone.
Ulmer right in his face. Makes you make your decision and what you're going to do with the puck. You got to make it very, very quickly.
Lethbridge now 0 for 10 in the championship series with the man advantage.
One of the reasons the Chiefs, Dan, are so good in their own zone defensively, you watch them, their head is on a swivel. They don't get mesmerized by the puck. They're watching where their open man is.
Cowan on the end boards with Falk. Puck squirting free there. Fighting trying to get it. Cowan up to Rutherford, who sidestepped the check, and it might be an outnumbered half. Here comes Roman. Roman shoots, and it deflects over top the net by the last man back. Was that Versteeg who hustled back to make that block and help his goalie out? That was a big one for him.
This is what Cowan does really well. Reads the play so well. Now you get a pinch in the neutral ice area. Bad idea. When you got the Chiefs with that kind of speed, that kind of quickness, that was actually three of them coming up the ice. Roman decided to shoot, put it over top of the net, deflected up into the netting area. That was Roman knowing that speed, that quickness, he thought he should have got a better scoring chance. Anytime you make a play like that and shoot wide or shoot high, Dan, you know what you're thinking? I should have passed it. If that puck hits a goaltender or it ends up in the net, guys with you don't care.
Penalty coming up here to Spokane as Versteeg was hit behind his own net, and the Chiefs touch it in the neutral zone. Lethbridge is going right back to the power play, and Versteeg is checking his facial area, and so the referee too, to see if it's a 2-minute penalty or a 4-minute penalty.
You'll see three guys. You'll see perfect puck support. You'll see two Chiefs in the corner, and you'll see Bowman right 27. There's three of them in a triangle, but you know what? It doesn't much matter how good your positioning is. The stick has to stay on the ice. As that stick comes up by Wall, is it? It catches Versteeg in the face. Face-off comes out into the center ice area. Again, you got to be responsible for your stick at all times, but again, really set up pretty good forechecking pattern there with the two guys in deep and the support by the third man.
Is this the power play where Lethbridge gets on the scoreboard for the first time and tie up the hockey game? Maybe right here as King is stopped by Tokarski. That was a great chance. May holding the puck in. Over to Sabiza. Sabiza has Johnson right on him, so he plays it to Mitch Fadden. Back to Sabiza. Sabiza gets it over to May. Cutting in, shooting it, and Tokarski's got it. He'll hold on.
When you come up the ice in a rush, sometimes the best player to drop that puck to or get that puck to is the trailer. This is a nice job of getting that puck wide, and then watch the drop pass to trailer King. But again, Tokarski in good position, and on the ice there is a defenseman paying the price to make that play. Jared Spurgeon making sure puck doesn't get past his goaltender.
Face off in the Spokane territory. Let the Chiefs get it and shoot it down the ice. McRae had won the face off. And back to get it will be May. May and Sabiza, the pointman, Boychuk, Fadden, and King up front. Go ahead, Bill.
You got to get two men on the forecheck when you got a man advantage.
Sabiza going in. The puck is rolling. He's trying to settle it down and maintain possession on the far side. Puck is held in by May, but only for a second, and then shot down the ice once more by Spokane. Minute to go in the power play, 4 minutes to go in the second period. Spokane leading 2-1. Puck put in deep. Glass can't get it. Comes back to the line. Fadden reaches to hold it in. Fadden playing it to King. King plays it to Craig. Craig, hard pass, goes off the stick, and it breaks the stick. So it's like a two-man advantage now as Bowman plays without a stick. Right. Plays it to Craig. Big opportunity here now. Long shot goes wide of the net. Spokane jumps on the puck, but it's held in nicely. King gets the puck. Tries to play it back to the line, but not held in this time. And Bowman hustles over to the bench to get replaced. And Spokane out of that little danger area, although still shorthanded for another 12 seconds. Boychuk picking up the puck back of the net. No, it hops over a stick. Glass gets it on his backhand, up high. Everybody jumps to try to keep it in, but they can't. Fault, or rather Wall getting set to come back on. He is back on. Lethbridge now 0 for 3 in this game. 0 for 11 in the series. Hodson. Now Wall. Tyler Johnson comes back the other way. 3 Chiefs through the neutral zone, but it goes away from Koper. Iwanski now towards Sevier. He couldn't catch up with the puck. It's rolling back into the Lethbridge zone. No icing. Versteeg plays it high up the wall. Lands on Hodson's stick as he tries to skate out through the center ice area. Now comes over here to an open wing. Hurricanes get there first. May sends it in deep. 2.5 minutes to go in the second period. Sevier in there. Colton Sevier A little bit of room, gets the puck. Tries to throw it in front, hit the side of the net, rolls to Tokarski, who freezes it.
This Spokane team has been a real test for Zach Boychuk in his draft year. He talked about him moving up, and to see scouts get an opportunity to see him play against this talented team has really been a treat. And there is some talk, you know, we talked to General Manager Roy Stasiak last night on your show, Dan, Sports Talk back to Vancouver, and he says he's actually playing hurt. Not too sure exactly what happened. I know he missed one game in the Kootenay series with what they described as an upper body injury, but tell you, he's trying to give it his best, and his game's tough enough to play when you're not hurt, especially against this Spoke team.
Kellner rolls the puck in, ball on the backboards with right, and here's Chernenko. His pass nearly picked off. Cowan has it. Cowan, the wall, who redirects it back into Lethbridge territory. We're under 2 minutes remaining in the middle period. 1-0 after one. Wall scored in the first period. Johnson made it 2-0 at the 3.5-minute mark of this period. 2 minutes later, Hodson scored to make it a 2-1 hockey game. Glass back to get it. His lead pass up for Compton as he picked it up and got it to Wall, who sends it in deep. Metzola grabs it, leaves it for May, and it's up to Wukterl, who's logged lots of minutes here for Lethbridge tonight, as Michael Dick is going with Wukterl every chance he can. Puck goes back into Spokane territory. Spurgeon, there's that head on the swivel that Bill was talking about. Up to Bruton. Now that the line, May's high shot, gloved down by Tokarski, and he holds on.
You know, what I wanted to say earlier about Jared Cowan, the 16-year-old, I think one of the greatest attributes that you can have, and it's really amazing for this kid at his age, is, you know, he's not a big threat to score, but he's such a low-risk player that you want him on the ice all the time. You're just happy to throw that kid out there because he's not going to hurt you defensively, not going to get a lot of points. What an attribute for a 16-year-old hockey player.
Offensive zone faceoff for Lethbridge, but here comes Spokane out of the Chiefs zone with lots of speed as he got through the center ice area on the 2-on-2. Bodies fly back to the net. Fans respond to that as we move into the final minute of a second period, which has been Lethbridge's friend through these playoffs. In the second period, they've outscored their opponents 22-12. So as good as the first period has been for Spokane in these playoffs, this middle period has been the best in all 4 rounds for the Lethbridge Hurricanes. Rutherford sends the puck in. Craig has it. Off the far boards, Colton Sevier. Here comes Ashton. He has Boychuk with him. Puck rolls to the corner. There's a chance at the side of the net, and comes back now to Sabiza. Another chance, and it's gloved down by Tokarski, who holds on.
You know, Justin McCrae may have taken a heck of a hit last night by Colton Sevier. His playoffs are not done. There he is. He gets double teamed. First, May chases him into the corner, and then Versteeg delivers a massive hit. McCrae up right at it. Get another look at it. McCrae from Saskatoon. The thing that the Spokane Chiefs love so much about Justin McCrae is that he competes so darn hard, and the thing, if you're a good competitor, you got to be able to play the game with speed, especially if you play for this team here in red.
It was at this stage last night that Lethbridge scored a huge goal with 2 seconds to go in the period. Glove hand pass stops the play with 5 seconds remaining, and the faceoff will come outside the line, so I doubt we're going to see some buzzer-beating goal here with the faceoff coming outside the Spokane line.
You know, Sevier, he has actually seen Spokane 2 more times than any of his teammates because he did play them twice as a member of the Winterhawks. I don't know if that's an advantage or if he knows them any different or any better, but Sevier, certainly a big hit last night. They'd love to see him get that puck behind that guy right there. 2-1 lead right now for the Spokane Chiefs.
Each team with a goal in that middle period. There's Juha Metzola making his way to the dressing room as we make our way now to Dan Elliott.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. 15-11, the shots through 40 minutes of play. Coming up in the second intermission, we'll hear from the Chiefs' hulking defenseman, Jared Cowan. Of course, he's a former first overall Bantam draft pick in the WHL, as well former Lethbridge Hurricane and Spokane team, and former NHL goaltender Jamie McLennan will join me here to talk about what he's been up to, as well as what his thoughts are on coming back to his old stomping grounds. It's all coming up next right here on Stroh's Herb, WHL Hockey on Shaw.
Jared Cowan of the Spokane Chiefs. Now, Jared, the Lethbridge Hurricanes are starting to come on a little bit there in the second period. What do you expect out of them in the third?
They're getting better every game, so we're expecting a lot from them. But it's game 4, we're up 3-0, so I mean they should come out. Like, every player should be going as hard as they can because this could be their last game, but we expect nothing less from them, so we're ready for it.
First year in the Western Hockey League, you're the first overall Bantam draft pick in your Bantam draft year. Tell me about your experiences in the WHL this season. How have you enjoyed playing in Spokane?
It's been an unbelievable season. I mean, couldn't ask for more at the WHL final right now. We have a good group of veterans on our team, so I've been learning a lot. So I think I have a good team to play with, good coaches, so I've been learning a lot, which is what I expected, so that's good.
I hear the experienced players on your team have just been great leaders all year.
Yeah, we have pretty much our entire team is veterans except for a few handful of guys, so I mean, everyone you talk to, they're going to teach you something, so you can't go wrong with any guy on the team.
Jared, thanks for this. Good luck in the third.
Yeah, thank you.
Jared Cowan of the Spokane Chiefs as we send it to Dan Elliott.
All right, thanks a lot, Cam. I'm sitting here now joined by Jamie McLennan, a friend of Cam Moon. Of course, you guys did goaltending school together, as I've heard. Of course, a former Lethbridge Hurricane, former Spokane Chief. Great to see you. What are you doing here? Let's just ask that first.
Well, I mean, I'm close family friend from Mike Dick, the head coach of the Lethbridge Hurricanes. I billeted with their family here in Lethbridge when I played here, so really close ties with the family and with the organization, so I wanted to come down, show support.
Unbelievable. That's a great story. Now, in terms of your career in the WHL, you started with Spokane, ended up in Lethbridge. You were in that 91 final versus Spokane. You guys were swept. Do you have a few fond memories from your days in the WHL? I'm sure you do.
Absolutely. I mean, one of the things that I remember, it was a big stepping stone to play pro hockey. Junior helps you become more of a man, and it teaches you responsibility off the ice. The things I really enjoyed about Lethbridge was obviously the city and the people and the fans. I mean, look at the sport here. It's been a great night, and the organization's come a long way, and they got a lot of good people running it.
Now, you went on, of course, to a successful career in the NHL, and then this year you were playing over in Japan. What was that experience like for you?
It was really good. I mean, at the end of my career, I wanted to have 1 year of just some fun, and I went over there for about 3.5 months and played about 30 games and just had some fun. Like, it was the way I wanted to end my career.
Now, I know I read a few of your blogs on the Hockey News, and you're a fantastic writer, by the way. Wow, Tyson Nash took a lot of heat from you, though. One of your teammates who went over with you.
Yeah, poor Nasher. I mean, he's a good sport, but if you would have read his blog, it was a lot harder on me than I was on him.
Now, maybe in terms of this game, you look at these two goaltenders out here. They've done a fantastic job throughout this series. What do you think maybe of their play?
Oh, they've both been very good. I mean, I was here last night and watched the game tonight. They've both been excellent again. They both, from what I can see, I mean, it's unfair for me to say, but I think they got really good futures ahead of them. I wish I was this good at their age.
Well, I'm sure you're fantastic. Same point. I mean, you had to face guys like Ray Whitney, Pat Floon. That Spokane team back in '91. That's some pretty talented snipers.
Yeah, they were a very strong team. We had a strong team in Lethbridge, and the couple things that I do remember, we had a guy like Wes Walls who went on to a real solid NHL career. And guys like Mark Gregg, who played years overseas, Jason Ruff, a local fan favorite, Brad Rubichuk. We had some great players. Spokane had some great players, and we had some good battles.
So now, in terms of your future, what is next for you in terms of hockey? Stay in the game at all?
Yeah, I love the game of hockey. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet, but some of the things that I would be interested in doing, obviously, is just working with the team and helping out in any way I can. Some of the things that I learned over the years with the experience of playing the National Hockey League, you want to pass that on to the younger guys and help them achieve their goals too. So certainly want to stay in hockey in some capacity.
Well, you have a fantastic reputation as a guy. Obviously, you were backed up Roberto Luongo, Mika Kiprusoff. A lot of these guys always said, I want Jamie McLennan as my backup. But that's the kind of reputation you have as a guy, a good team guy, and it seems like it'd be a perfect fit for someone to help out an organization.
I hope so, and I hope my reputation will help out that way. But certainly, I mean, when you end up backing up guys like Roberto and guys like Kipper, I mean, life's it's pretty easy there. So it's good stuff.
Yeah, you don't get as much action. Obviously, you have to be a little bit. It does take a different type of personality, though, to be that type of player, because obviously you're not going to get all the games. You just have to take what you get at that point in time.
Yeah, you got to have fun with it. I mean, you come to the rink and it's still a job, but the one thing about hockey is it's still a game. Even at the NHL level, at this level, it's still a fun time. And obviously you're getting paid, and there's a lot more responsibility that comes with it. But it's still a game, and you enjoy it.
Responsibility. It's a tough word to hear, right?
Yeah, that is true. At this, when hockey is a sport, but it's men playing a boys' game.
Absolutely. Well, thanks a lot for stopping by, and best of luck with your future.
Thanks a lot.
Jay McLennan, former Lethbridge Hurricane, former Spokane Chiefs. We got to take a quick break. Got lots more coming up right after this. Spokane Chiefs leading Lethbridge Hurricanes 2-1 through 40 minutes of play, 20 minutes away from winning their second WHL championship in their franchise. Their first WHL franchise championship was under this man right here, Brian Maxwell, former head coach of the Hurricanes as well as the Spokane Chiefs, won Memorial Cup with them as well as Medicine Hat. Great to see you here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, maybe first off, I know you've been helping out a little bit with Lethbridge over the last little while. What have you thought of the last couple of games that you've seen between these two teams?
Oh boy, it's a really tight check and not a whole bunch of room out there to get everything done. Spokane's done an excellent job of swarming the puck and making it tough for Lethbridge to generate any offense. But they had a better period there. I thought they were a little bit flat in the first, but better in the second for sure.
Well, I mean, you have a great history here in the WHL, obviously, with all those teams I'd mentioned before, Medicine Hat, Spokane, and Lethbridge. What are maybe your fondest memories from your time as a coach in this league?
Well, I guess it would start with Medicine Hat. Winning the Memorial Cup my first year as a coach was an honor. Had a heck of a hockey club that year, and then to go to Spokane, and Spokane was in last place when I arrived there, and we were fortunate enough to win a Memorial Cup there too. So some very fond memories. Spokane, a great city, pretty much where my kids grew up in Spokane, and then Lethbridge is my hometown. I was here for 9 years and lost in the Memorial Cup. That one probably hurts. Still hurts, but some very fond memories of the Dove for sure.
What do you think of the crowd here tonight? As you mentioned, your hometown here in Lethbridge, a great support hockey city in terms of coming out and supporting their team.
Well, it is. They were very loud last night, and they got to get out of the seats here in the third to try to cheer Lethbridge on.
I know that after your time in Medicine Hat, you went on to be assistant coach in LA for a couple of years. We're seeing it a little bit in terms of transition, in terms of coaches going from this level to the AHL or even the NHL. Not as much as before. What do you think it takes to make that jump as a coach from the WHL to maybe the next level?
Well, it always helps when you win.
Yeah.
When you have success and you win, and that reflects obviously back on the head coach and such. But there are as good coaches in the Western Hockey League have been for years, right throughout the league. There are coaches that are climbing up and will be ready to go to the American League, and from there obviously to the NHL.
Well, I know last were coaching in the ECHL with Victoria's Salmon Kings. You've been off for a while. Was it nice for you maybe to get a break? Maybe not the way you wanted to get the break, but now that you've had it, you're enjoying it?
Yeah, well, when you get fired, you get a chance to take a break, but no, I did need a break. 30 years in a row, 11 playing and the last 19 coaching, and so I've taken a break now just about for 2 years now, so really I'm missing it. I miss the teaching part and the coaching part, so I'm probably looking to get back involved.
Now a possibility for you to get back involved here in the WHL where your coaching roots really have started?
Well, I think if the right opportunity presented itself, it's something that I'd certainly look at. I really enjoy coaching the kids and making them better players so they can go make the millions that they're making in the NHL, so I certainly do miss that part.
You've coached a ton of fantastic players, as you mentioned, from Medicine Hat. Trevor Linden there, Dean Chanel, Ray Whitney, Pat Falloon, Spokane, Byron Ritchie in Lethbridge. Is there one player that maybe sticks out in your mind that you maybe not the most talented, but one of those guys who just developed along the way in junior and made himself into a fantastic player?
Well, yeah, obviously Trevor Linden in Medicine Hat, but Robbie DeMaio in Medicine Hat. Robbie is one of my favorites. You're not supposed to have favorites of a coach, but
don't say anything.
But no, he certainly sticks in my mind. Ray Whitney, obviously, and Patty Falloon and Topper.
You bet.
Topper in Spokane, and Brigley, Ritchie, some real good kids. Bryce Salvador, Burrington. boy, yeah, we
the list
very
goes on and on
fortunate,
for
very
you, I'm sure.
fortunate to coach some good kids. Yes.
Now, in terms of Lethbridge here, obviously down 2-1, what do you think they need to do here in the third period to get back in this one?
Well, they got to try to keep their feet moving and generate some offense. Throw the puck to the net from everywhere and have people crash into the net. And you never know, it might go off your foot or your leg or whatever. But it doesn't have to be pretty. You have to grind it out and get the puck to the net.
Well, I appreciate you stopping by here, and best of luck with everything you're doing and your coaching career in the future.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, Brian Maxwell, former Memorial Cup winner with Spokane and the Mez Tigers. Let's take a look and see what else is going on in the CHL. Gatineau defeating the Huskies 4-1 tonight. They now lead that series 3-1 and have a chance to wrap it up in Game 5.
The WHL, the leading supplier to the NHL for over 40 years. 20% of all NHL players got their start in the WHL. The WHL, your game, your future.
Tyler Johnson has got the go-ahead goal for the Spokane Chiefs, putting them 20 minutes away from winning the WHL championship this year in 2008. Time now to send it back upstairs to Dan and Bill to get their thoughts through 40 minutes.
Okay, thank you very much. Enjoyed your interview, Dan, there with Mr. Maxwell. He's done a lot in this Western Hockey League, and I think he's right. Lethbridge is going to have to play their most desperate hockey now in the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, they got to throw everything at the net. It's easier said than done, certainly. And by the way, you know you've gone a long way in the playoffs when there's not many out-of-town scores to report it. We just did there. But, yeah, we'll take a look at the first goal. We can roll it here. Tyler Johnson, you like him, I like him, Dan. You know, what a job he does of getting in the front of the net area. Watch him 9. Stop it there. You see 9 red for Spokane. How can he get that much room when he's done so much damage? Both defensemen, Jesse Craig and Jeff May, get there much too late. This is a look down low. He finishes that play so easily. Now, you've got lucky bounces. Here's Lethbridge with some bounces. Watch this. It'll hit that stick right there. That's Ulmer's stick. It'll bounce off Wall's stick right there. And Hudson will pick it up and wait for Tokarski to go down and put it upstairs. You need those lucky bounces. Those are 2 of them off sticks that Nick Hodson capitalizes on. If you're going to be 5'9", folks, and play defense like Jared Spurgeon, you got to be able to stop it there. That's him taking Hodson out of the play positionally. Perfect. You got to do that, and this is the other thing you got to do. You got to lead rushes coming out of your zone. Bruton to the front of the net. Great scoring chance, all set up by 5'9" Jared Spurgeon.
1 goal each in that second period. Johnson and Hodson 2 minutes apart. 1 goal game going to the third. The running man's been at it all playoffs. Will he keep running after tonight, or will he finally sit down and say no mas? Spokane 2, Lethbridge 1. You're watching the Western Hockey League Championship Series on Shaw. Welcome back to the WHL Championship Series on Shaw. Dan Russell alongside Bill Wilms, our host. Dan Elliott is here. Cam Moon. The executive producer of the WHL on Shaw is Russ Greaves. Our game producer, the most eligible bachelor in Alberta, David Roberts. Director, Brianne Jefferson. Terrific work by those two and the entire crew on Shaw. And by the way, a special hello to our friends watching on Comcast as well, south of the line in the eastern Washington area. There's the Chiefs' record when they lead after 2. The Hurricanes, when they trail after 2, have a 1-3 record in these playoffs. Tokarski and Metzola, the goalkeepers, they've gone the distance so far in this series. Will this be the final period of the series, or can the Hurricanes even it up and force more hockey tonight and beyond? As we start this third period, the teams are at full strength. Spokane in the red uniforms. Johnson to Reddington. Reddington rolls it into Lethbridge territory. The fans start with the Go Canes Go chant. Johnson can't cut it off. Here comes Mitch Fadden. Fadden has Wooktrell on his left. King going to the front of the net. Fadden throws it hard at the net. Good idea. Comes back to Sabiza as the net comes off its support.
Strauss Herb WHL on Shaw is brought to you by the Strauss Herb Company of Products. Trust the tradition.
There's Tyler Johnson has the go-ahead goal tonight, but throwing everything at Tokarski is the right idea, Bill.
Yeah, Fad coming up the ice, that's exactly what happened. He had a couple guys going to the net. Make life miserable if you're a Hurricane fan. This is the play we just talked about. Fadden wide, throw it to the front, all kinds of traffic there. In fact, they even get a second chance. The Spokane Chief ends up in the back of the net.
Sevier trying to come up with a loose puck, cannot. May trying to squeeze his guy out, could not. That was Bruton. He got through and he tried to center it in front for Wall. That was intercepted, and here comes Lethbridge. Hodson, their goal scorer tonight, backhands it in. Tokarski playing it around the boards. Boychuk cuts it off. Then he can't make the pass as Bowman takes it away from him. Bowman sends it in deep. Sabiza gets it. Both teams making a change as Lucas Sabiza organizes from back of his own goal.
This has been a good defensive pairing all year for Lethbridge. Wright and Spiza. Ben Wright does a lot of the work in the corners and kind of frees that puck for Spiza to take off with it.
Orfino tried to catch Fighton in front of the net, couldn't find him. Fighton reaches up. Fighton has scored a huge goal for Lethbridge. He needs another one. Well, he would like to get one anyway. We're going to get a penalty here. The back referee's got his arm in the air. And I think Spokane is going to be shorthanded on a slash. Lethbridge with an, well, I don't want to speak. I've done that a couple of times. The fans were all cheering here. They thought it was going to be a penalty on Spokane, but there's Carter Banks going to the box. Let's see if we can catch it here. Is it right here? Yes.
You know, you can lay the stick on the player. I've talked before with the officials about it. You can get that stick up in that area where Carter Banks got it. But if there's a consequence to the action, they will call it. That's whether it's a slash or whether it's a hold or whether it's a hook. And that's been loosened up a little bit from a couple years ago when the rules were started being enforced.
Bowman crosses in over the line. Third power play. Look at the room here, and the shot is blocked by Spiza. Spurgeon took a long time to get it away. He couldn't believe how much room he had. Now Wookturl trying to get loose. Wookturl has 2 short-handed goals in these playoffs, but they were a couple of rounds ago. Wookturl, one of the best Lethbridge players on this night, dumps the puck back into Spokane territory, and a fan favorite, as you can hear. Spurgeon
started with that opening discussion he had with, I didn't catch that Spokane team player last night. He's been great.
Nothing doing on special teams in this game. Lethbridge 0 for 3. Spokane on their 3rd power play of the hockey game. And they've had 100 power plays so far in the playoffs and scored on 12 of them. Here's Blackwater. Cross ice. Shot. Another chance. Score! Rutherford and a biggie. And it does come on the power play. 3-1 Spokane. It has not been an overly productive power play, but when they needed it at its best, they came through.
This is an absolute classic type power play goal. Watch what happens here. Blackwater's going to get that puck. He's going to make a pass there. It's a seeing eye pass. Quick relay. How quickly that puck is relayed to David Rutherford. This is a thing of beauty, folks. Watch it. That's Roman. I talked about his 44 assists last year. He was just terrific. He's the best playmaker on this team. That pass right to Rutherford there showed the patience of Job. Believe me, nothing was rushed. It was absolutely a thing of beauty.
Here's the announcement.
21, Andre Roman, and number 23, Chuck Blackwater. The time of the goal, 2:40.
Wow.
Wow is right.
Rutherford is 9th.
And Versteeg tried to make a big hit. You'll see Versteeg missing. I don't know, right there. Just out of your picture at the very end, but there's the tic-tac and the toe.
You know, it's amazing. You know, you get a pass like that from Roman, and you kind of think, Dan, you or I could just be in that spot and simply redirect that puck in the net. It was just set up on a tee for him.
Here's Lethbridge trying to answer back. They get the puck right in the crease, and look at this. We don't see this sight very often. A lot of pushing and shoving. That puck rolled into Tokarski, into that blue shaded crease, and Lethbridge had an opportunity to hammer it in, but couldn't.
See the difference now? Lethbridge trying to go for a kind of a junk type goal, garbage goal. That's what they're trying to do right there. They've trying to answer back on a very pretty goal that Rutherford scored, but I think this is what everybody talks about in this period. Get pucks on the net. Doesn't have to be pretty.
Dustin Tokarski, 15 wins in these playoffs. Native of Winnipeg, Manitoba. In his second year, had 30 wins in the regular season. So he's counted 45 wins. If they win tonight, this would be number 46. And of course, he would have a chance to add to that if they win tonight by being the Western Hockey League representative in the Memorial Cup. But there's still hockey to be played here. Lots of it. It's a 3-1 hockey game. Spokane leading. Sabiza back deep in his own zone. And it turns out that Banks offensive zone penalty was a costly one for Lethbridge. Ashton rolls it in. Ashton from back of the net. Now Bruton on the far side. Spokane dumps it out. Craig. Fans again showing their great support. And they've done a nice job in Lethbridge this season supporting this team. Another sellout, of course, here tonight. And they've been treated to a great Lethbridge team that finished with 45 victories in the regular season.
Hurricanes, Dan, have won 29 games, including the regular season and playoffs on home ice, while only losing 12. It's been a fun place to come, the NMAX Center.
Bruton to Wall. Wall holding it, shooting it high over top the net. Metzela was going down, the puck was going up. Wall rather, dumping it back of the net. King missed it there. There's a centering pass, and here's Glass holding it, passing it, and then shot wide of the net by Rutherford. And then Rutherford's decked by Wookturl. Another cross-ice pass over there on the far side, taken by Bowman. Bowman puts it in front, gloved away by Craig. Spokane keeping the Canes hemmed up here. As it bounces to Blackwater, he's just off the bench. Here he comes, shooting it, saved by Metzela. The puck's loose at the side of the net, and Metzela puts his glove over top of it to hold on.
You see Rutherford in that action, shot by Blackwater to get it on the net. You're not a big guy like Rutherford. You can play in traffic as long as you can find that extra gear so that you can get away from problems, you can get away from people like that. Rutherford digging all the time. Good play by Blackwater, get that puck on net. Rutherford right in front. He established excellent position on Jesse Craig. If anybody was going to get that rebound, if that puck dropped to the feet, it was likely going to be Rutherford.
Face-off won by Lethbridge. The Hurricanes in this 4-game series led for 2 seconds of the second period last night and then most of the third. So they've led for about 16 minutes in the 4 games. A lot of come from behind hockey. That tying goal by Bruton last night was actually near the 18-minute mark. So let's call it 18 minutes that Lethbridge has led. The rest of it, they've either been tied or coming from behind. Can't get out of their own zone here is Kellner. Couldn't get the puck in front. Boychuk starts back the other way. Zach Boychuk ridden out of the play on the back checking of Curtis Kellner. Puck sent back in deep, and we got a penalty behind the play. Back referee calling, I think, another one on Lethbridge as there was a little bit of a mix-up right at the player bench area, and frustration coming through here as a roughing penalty is being indicated on that young man, Colton Sevier.
Yeah, Colton Sevier is going to put his team shorthanded. Probably the last thing you need to know in that situation there. The late hit, you see it right there on Lefko Koper. A little bit of rough stuff, a little bit of a headlock. Right in front of Cam Moon. You see that, Cam?
Oh, yeah. One shove too many for Colton Sevier.
You can almost hear that action, can you?
I thought you were going to get involved a little bit maybe there, Cam. You weren't backing away. That was one thing I'm pretty impressed with.
Cat-like skills.
Hey, Cam, Spokane team sitting down, Lethbridge standing. What's the feeling on the benches?
Well, the anxiety level over on the Lethbridge side is obviously going to be a lot higher than it is over on the Spokane side. They're a pretty confident group, the Chiefs, right now.
Look pretty relaxed, you bet.
They are. They're very composed.
Very business-like. They've been that way as we've experienced it firsthand in this round, but we're told through the 4 rounds. Glass at the point, winding up, shooting it wide of the net. Banks threw his body across to try to block it. Now it rolls off Bowman's stick and down the ice it goes. Spurgeon back to get it. We talked about his brother Tyler last night. He's won 2 WHL titles. The Spurgeon family hoping that the youngster gets his first one here, either tonight or somewhere in the next week or so. Bowman up to Rutherford. Rutherford fights off the check of Wookturl as the 2 former Vancouver Giants collide in the neutral zone. Now the puck rolls back to Falk. Justin Falk, Minnesota Wild draft pick, gets it up to Rutherford as he weaves his way in over the blue line. Poked off his stick. Following it up there is Ulmer. He waits for his mates to get onside nicely. Then he gets it all the way to the corner. Still half minute to go in the Spokane power play.
A lot of discipline by his mates to get back outside the blue line.
This might be what you call, mind you, Spokane's power play hasn't been very good through the playoffs, but a safety power play. They're not really trying necessarily to set up. They certainly just don't want to give up a short-handed goal and change the momentum. In fact, that's why Cowan was way out in the neutral zone there, and he just barely kept the puck in as he reached in. Ulmer shot wide of the net. Sevier out of the box. And Cowan didn't want Sevier to sneak in behind him. That's why he was out there at center ice. Very smart. Blackwater. Here comes Johnson in over the line. Johnson holding it, takes the shot. Craig blocks it. Johnson follows it up, gets it back to the net, trying to work it in front. It's on the mesh, and it's frozen right there.
You take a look at pretty well every line that the Chiefs throw out on the ice. They seem to all be in sync. No one overhandles the puck. You never see that happen. Nobody refuses to shoot. You don't sit up here and say, hey, I wish he had a shot or should have shot that puck. In fact, nobody doesn't hustle on the back check. They are just so solid as a group, every one of them. And, you know, coming into tonight's game, Dan, Spokane had 7 different goal scorers. Lethbridge only 3. So the depth runs right through that whole hockey club. In fact, Spokane had 14 players with points coming into tonight's game. The Hurricanes 8.
Wow.
You got that
very
kind of depth,
balanced.
boy. It's tough.
Very, very balanced. Now a long shot wide of the net. King coming up with the loose puck. There's Johnson on the back check. He's hit off it. Nice job by Ashton. The son of Brent Ashton, former NHLer, wears number 18 here in Lethbridge. That puck goes out to the neutral zone. Wright back to collect it. Wright trying to get something going from back behind his own net. Here's Fadden up to King. King's pass back to Fadden in his skates, so King will send it in. Dustin Tokarski, who, by the way, attended training camps for Swift Current in Calgary. Never got a chance as a very youngster to play for those guys, but found a home in Spokane. It's been a good home for him. The other goalie, Metzela, makes the save.
Cam, there was some talk we found out yesterday that maybe Boychuk was playing hurt. Have you heard anything at all about along those lines?
If he is, then he's hitting it extremely well. So I've not heard anything to that effect. And I mean, it looks like he's playing with a lot of heart. And if he's hurting, he's hit it pretty well.
Remember last year, Dan, Ryan White in this championship series, Eastern Conference Championship Series. I mean, that was a pretty well-kept secret. For the Calgary Hitmen, he played most of that series hurt, and nobody really knew about it.
Until the end, and then we remember those great shots that our Shaw crew had of him at the bench, and the pictures told all the words, how badly he wanted to play and just couldn't. There's a loose puck. Carter Banks couldn't get it. It goes off the mesh, the other mesh, the one that's way high behind each net.
You know, you wonder if a guy like Ben Wright, Columbus Blue Jacket draft, what his future might be like if his team with 10:29 left in this period doesn't come back to win this hockey game. He's been a real good pairing with Lucas Spiza, as I said earlier. You know, he leads all Western Hockey League defense right now in the plus-minus. And he's one guy, Dan, that you have to watch several times to see how solid Ben Wright really is.
There he is with the puck at the blue line. Plays it to Boychuk. Hard cross-ice pass to Spiza. Long shot, high through traffic. Goes wide of the net. Cowan trying to work his man over in the corner. Johnson in there to try to get the puck. Lots of hard work still going on in this hockey game as it's centered. Comes back to Wright at the blue line. Wright holding it. Now to Torneko. Lethbridge must feel it's their time to get a goal here. They have to claw back in this game. It's the longest the puck's been in the Spokane zone for a while. And just as we say that, Cowan lugs it out. Here's an outnumbered attack. It's McRae cutting in, shooting it, and Metzela gets his arm on it. Oh boy, he had to make that one. Hodson in over the line. Giving chase. Now Falk getting possession of the puck deep in his own zone. Fell down. Hurricanes centering pass, comes back to the blue line. May's only option is to dump it down low to King. King will play it back to May. May again down low. Hodson misses it. Falk has room. Boychuk in there to try to prevent him from moving the puck. Could not do so. Bruton out in the neutral zone to Mitch Wall. 3 Hurricanes are back, but Bowman's following it up. Bowman shooting it, and Metzela squeezed that 5-hole just in time. Fadden has the puck. Lead pass to Dwight King as he sends it in. Ulmer back to collect the puck. Under 9 minutes remaining in the third period. Fadden trying to collect the loose puck, cannot. Ulmer takes it out of harm's way. And there he goes, starting out on that far side. Poked off his stick the first time, but he gets it back out to Rutherford, who sends it in deep. Rutherford hit, and he bounces right back up again. How many hits has Wicktorow thrown in this hockey game, and in this series, and in this season, and in his career? Yeah. If you had $1 for every one, you'd be sitting pretty.
You know, he knows what his role is. I've talked before about knowing your role as a hockey player. If you're a hitter like Wicktorow is, don't go trying to split the defense. Got to rush up the ice.
8:14 to go, third period. Spokane leading by 2. Can they win the championship series tonight? This was a big insurance goal. We'll see if it stays 3-1 when we come back.
Well, how we get the 3-1 Spokane lead? Some pretty goals, boy. Let me tell you, stretch pass by Bowman here to Mitch Wall. Terrific deke on the goaltender. Tyler Johnson's been a Hurricane killer. He made it 2-0 in the second period. He found this soft spot in front of the net. Poor coverage. Boy, Tyler Johnson makes him pay for it. Nick Hodson, fortuitous bounces in front of the net. He capitalizes on 2 of them. Waits for the goaltender to go down. Makes it 2-1. And a big goal here on a nifty passing play. Tick, tack. There it is. Rutherford, 3-1, and that's where we are right now.
Shots in the game, 20 for Spokane, 14 for the hometown Hurricanes. Shots have been at a premium. There's a wraparound, and Metzela makes the first save and the second, as well as the Blackwater Roman Rutherford line roams right around that Lethbridge goal.
Dan, as crazy as it may sound, even on that wraparound play, I look up and I think pretty near every Hurricane was watching where the puck was. You got to look back over, look for somebody that's maybe looking and jabbing for a rebound. But I mean, I guess maybe the goal scorers are so dangerous around the net, they demand an awful lot of attention. But if you're all focusing on them, you're not going to get the job done.
Another shot turned aside before it reached the net, and here comes Hodson, the lone goal scorer for Lethbridge in Game 4. Crosses in over the line. His shot directs off the target. McRae gets it. Couldn't move it out. Hodson jumps on it. Tokarski gloves it and holds on.
You know, both Nick Hodson and Colton Sevier wore assistant captain letters with the Portland Winterhawks when Roy Stasiak acquired them. And, you know, you really know there's strong relationship between character and performance. When you can get guys wearing letters in trades, you got a big bonus. And Hodson's been a real good acquisition for this team.
Face off, one by Spokane in their own zone. Spurgeon comes up with the loose puck. Spurgeon up for Coper, who rolls it in. And they'll be content to do a lot of that. Keep the shifts short, dump it in. All the cliches you hear when teams are up by 2 in the third period and on the verge of winning a championship. Again to center ice. Wall, he'll slap it this time on Metzela. Craig has it. Now the puck comes up to Wall. Wall back to Bruton. Bruton throws it at the net. Hit Craig, and now it bounces to Versteeg. He clears it up high back into the Spokane zone where the captain Bruton gobbles it up and plays it to glass. Versteeg will send it in, but it hits the mesh, and it'll go out of play. Dustin Tokarski, the last championship he won was the 2006 National Midget title with the Prince Albert Mintos. He went 7-0 in that tournament, made 61 saves, including 28 in an overtime to preserve the win over Calgary in a championship game. Not quite as busy tonight.
You know, I think Dustin Tokarski and Kevin Armstrong, backup goaltender, you know, he's been a #1 goaltender for this team for a lot of last year. In fact, some of this year as well. I've said this before. Spokane Chiefs, I think, have the best 1-2 goalie punch in the league.
Lethbridge will agree with that. Only one goal against Tokarski last night. Only one goal against Tokarski tonight on home ice. Cowan, lead pass to Rutherford. He'll roll it in, and Blackwater will give chase against Versteeg. 6.5 minutes to go in the third period. May up for Boychuk, who reaches it nicely, and out he comes, but there's nothing but red-shirted Chiefs. There's 3 of them back. Wookturl in over the line. His shot deflects again off that protective screen behind Tokarski.
You know, you wonder too about next year for a guy like Mitch Fadden. He is a Tampa Bay draft, and he's been playing some real good hockey. But I mentioned this last night. He's now gone 4 games without a point. This is going to be 5. This is the longest stretch of pointless hockey he's played. He's got great passing skills. You know, he still leads the WHL standings in power play assists with 10. He's not only a good passer, he's been a very creative passer, passing to a lot of the right guys in the right situations. But, boy, they've done it. Chiefs have done a number on him.
-4 is Fadden in this championship series. So that kind of tells the story as well. Very frustrating for him, to be sure. And he's just not used to that. He was +23 in the regular season. His first year, 9 goals. His second year for Fadden, he had 20 goals. Then he got up to 36 goals. So he's had lots of great hockey. And this year he had a 34-goal season.
And he knows, Dan, that pros watch how you play down the stretch, how you play in the tough games. And I know he would have liked to have been a bigger contributor so far for the Hurricanes. Wow, we got 5 1/4 left. And boy, when it comes to defending a lead.
Just one more thing on Fadden. He'll hear that ping in his ear for a lot of the summer, won't he?
Yeah, the overtime.
I mean, if he scores there, it's a 2-1 series, and you never know.
And you know where his emotions are at that point. His confidence would be 8 miles high.
Absolutely.
Not only to score, but score the overtime winner.
And the momentum would have changed, but that's a woulda, a coulda, and a shoulda all combined together, and Spokane has been full value for their lead in this game 4 and through the series. Hodson in over the line. He'll roll it in with under 5 minutes to go in the third period. Banks. He's ridden out of the play. Puck squirts free.
You just can't come away from the wall with it. You just can't. If you're the Lethbridge Hurricanes, you're not going to win that battle, and now that puck goes to the other side of the net. Watch the battle over there. Dig that, folks. Just check that out. It might look stupid, it might look sloppy, but it's so effective. You end up making a pass back to your own point and misses everybody. How do you beat that? I'll tell you what. But your pros would have a hard time beating that.
So far, 4 teams have tried in these playoffs, and nobody has the answer yet. There's a turnover. Here's Blackwater trying to feed Rutherford down low. Now it's Roman taking the pass. Rolls off his stick. Still loose there, and they score! Another one! It's Roman who puts them up 4-1, and the Spokane Chiefs are going to win the Western Hockey League Championship. A 4th goal in this hockey game. That should be enough to get her done tonight.
Dan, you saw the good work in their own zone. How about the Chiefs in the offensive zone? Follow this sequence, folks. Rutherford, Roman, they think they lose it. They're not done. Rutherford, chance, pulls the goalie to the side, and a neat little pass over that Roman finishes off. They just won't quit. Watch it right there, 21, top of the crease. Rutherford, all the work. Blackwater's got to be in that too. Pretty easy to figure the assist on that goal.
Here's the announcement.
Number 21, Andre Roman. The assist to number 20, David Rutherford. The time of the goal, 16:08. Roman, his 9th of the playoffs. The assist to Rutherford at 16:08.
All right, and the composure continues for Spokane. Up 4-1. They're still all sitting at the bench, all in complete control.
That's amazing. Look at them. It's just some workmanlike. Hey, coach, you want me to go on the ice? I'll just go out and do the job. Where do you want me to do it? Defensive zone? Offensive zone? I'll do it.
The biggest sign of emotion came last night when they poured off the bench for the overtime winner by the youngster and Spokane native Tyler Johnson. And we imagine that scene will repeat itself in under 3 minutes. Grayson Bowman centering past the wall. There's a chance and a shot turned aside by Metzela. That was Kellner getting that opportunity. Delayed offside. The Spokane Chiefs team up 4-1. Bill and I remember when they came into the Western League, they were initially known as the Kelowna Wings back in 1982 to 85. Now they've been in Spokane for 23 years, and they're on their way to their second WHL championship.
And very, very deservedly so. You just saw Reddington go off the ice, the highest ever defensive pick, or rather since 1995. Reddington 14, Mitch Wall there. You know, he's from California. You heard Dan Elliott talk about Wall. I think he was one of the many California kids that were affected by when Wayne Gretzky got traded to LA in '88. And guys like Wall from Seal Beach, they found hockey. They found it pretty exciting.
Cam, they've called timeout Spokane as Bill Peters, I guess, wants to just put one or two last reminders into his group. Can you hear anything down there for the timeout, Cam?
Yeah, they're just making sure everybody's on the same page for the last 2:33. So that's why Bill Peters called the timeout. Just make sure everybody's sharp, smart with what they do, because they just want to rope-a-dope this thing until the final buzzer.
And with the icing, too, to rest some guys. Lethbridge wins the face-off. Boychuk gets it back to the line. May now to Sabiza. Sabiza will knock it down to Boychuk. Boychuk shot, taken up high by Tokarski. The rebound's there. Now Boychuk jumps on it once more. Boychuk tried to find Sabiza. The goalie out for the extra attacker. Puck almost rolled to the vacant net. And here comes Lethbridge. Long lead pass. Fadden redirects it in, or did he? He says he did. The linesman said no. And icing call, but there is some argument as to whether or not Fadden touched it. I thought he did.
Take a look at this play in front of the net, Dan. Watch how quickly the Chiefs clear this rebound. Again, you know, Boychuk with a good shot. Watch where the puck goes. It's down there, and bang! It's out of the way. It's in the corner of the ring. You just cannot find a real spot to attack the Chiefs and say that they are soft in an area that you can kind of expose. Not the front of the net, not the corners, not their zone, not the offensive zone. Pretty complete, isn't it?
And they've outscored Lethbridge 15-5 in this final. Goalie again to the bench for the extra attacker. And an empty net chance for Rutherford, but it's broken up by Sabiza. Brought in over the line. Wookturl dumps it back to the net. Cowan along those boards. Now goes over to the other side. Reddington and Fadden, and there'll be a penalty, I think, on Fadden. And Wookturl goes in, and the referee says, no, I'm not going to let you get in there. Andy Thiessen making sure nothing boils over here. There is frustration, and Fadden is going to get a holding penalty. So if it wasn't a done deal already, and it was, it's even more of a done deal now.
Yeah, Fadden trying to continue on the forecheck. Watch him. He gets that handout, spins Reddington right around. Obviously, a penalty, no question about it. He knows it, and he will spend, in all likelihood, the last minute and 29 seconds, Fadden will, of his 07-08 season in the penalty box.
Spokane's Bowman in over the line. See how they operate here on the power play. They'll just try to keep the puck down there, of course. Puck shot down. Tokarski handling it. Hasn't had to be a standout. Their team in front of them is just so good that Tokarski, made a couple big saves, but not called upon very often. Not to take a thing away from him.
No, exactly.
Just to attribute that team in front of him. Banks. Falk caught up with him, and Banks loses his helmet. Well, nice salute here by the fans. They're on their feet, saluting the hometown Lethbridge Hurricanes for getting all the way to the final. That's most of their salute, but some of it is to Spokane as well, as the team that wears red, white, and blue is going to bring the championship to the land of red, white, and blue. It's the first American team to win the WHL championship in a decade. The Ed Chenault Cup, the very first champions, will be the Spokane Chiefs. They'll be honored all time for capturing the trophy of that fine man's name, who we lost just 2 weeks ago. The championship series is over. Spokane, #1 in 2008, and here is what they've been playing for the Ed Chenoweth Cup. Two finely clad RCMP members wearing the same colors as the champions. And there they all are. They beat Everett in 4. They beat Vancouver in 6. They beat Tri-Cities in an epic 7-game series that won't soon be forgotten in Eastern Washington. And then they sweep the Eastern champion Lethbridge Hurricanes 4 games to nothing.
On the season, the Spokane Chiefs win 66 games combined and lose 20. Boy, that has been just a terrific season for the team in the red, white, and blue. Wow.
There's nothing like seeing a team win it all. The work that goes into it. Years in the making. Tim Speltz, congratulations, the general manager. Bill Peters, the head coach. The trades, the drafting, the developing, the scouting. It's all paying off for Spokane tonight here in southern Alberta. And one of the great traditions in all sports taking place now as they line up at center ice for the traditional handshake.
Dan, I know teams love to win the championship in their home building, no question, in front of their home fans. But there's that little extra pride, that little extra good feeling when you do it in a sold-out visiting arena. My goodness, that's a good hockey club over there. I don't want to take anything away from the Lethbridge Hurricanes. They were terrific on the season. Terrific credit to Roy Stasiak, the general manager, and the acquisition. You know, 11 players on this roster came via the Bantam draft for the Hurricanes. And lots came past the first round. Guys like Jesse Craig, Wojciech, Orfino, nothing to hang their head about for the Lethbridge Hurricanes, believe me.
It's a terrific year for the Western Hockey League. The Eastern Conference so contested all year. We didn't know till the final week of the season what was going to happen on the eastern side. In the meantime, 3 high-octane teams in terms of point production in the West. Tri-Cities, 108 points. One back was Spokane, and Vancouver right there as well. And home ice turned out to be very important for a couple of those teams. As you look at Nick Hodson, they're now handing out the championship hats to Spokane down on that one side. But I guess, Bill, I mean, this Spokane team, the cream does rise to the top, but there were some excellent hockey teams competing for this Ed Chenoweth Cup in 08 as we go down to Kamloops.
Thanks a lot, guys. Tyler Johnson, what does it feel like winning the Western League Championship?
Unbelievable feeling right now. I mean, we've had a great year this year, and it's only getting better, so it's unbelievable.
You're from Spokane. You bring a championship to your hometown. Growing up watching the Chiefs, this has got to make it extra special.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Last time we went to the Mem Cup was when I was born in 90 and 91, so, I mean, it's great. We've had a rough couple of years, the past years, but coming in, my rookie season going to the Mem Cup, I couldn't want anything more.
You're a big goal scorer in this series, too, eh?
Yeah, I try. My line's been working pretty well, so I have to give it to them for that.
Okay, go enjoy this. Thanks.
All right, thank you.
Tyler Johnson. Guys.
Dan, I don't mind saying this. He got my vote for MVP of this series.
He was on my list, too. They asked us to name 3. I went with the captain, Bruton. I mean, I don't know how you go.
He's my second pick.
Against either of those two, to be honest. That goal he scored last night, though, late in the third period, I mean, at that moment, it almost symbolized to me what he's meant as their captain. They were down when they needed him most. He made an unbelievable play to force overtime. And then it was Johnson who won it in the overtime. As you see, the Spokane Chiefs, the Hurricanes have left the ice. The fans, many of them have stayed in the building. And why not? It's a rare opportunity to see the Cup won. And we're thinking of the Chenoweth family right now with Jeff and Dean especially. I know they would have liked to have been here to see the championship trophy with their father's name. We're going to see that moment coming as it's just arriving on the scene right now. There it is. The Ed Chenoweth Cup making its way in, and the Spokane Chiefs are going to be the first team to get their hands on it.
And the Chiefs, they lost the WHL final in 2000 at Kootenay. They hosted the Memorial Cup a couple years earlier. WHL champions back in '91, the year they went all the way and won the Memorial Cup with a team that was led by two guys with 235 points, Whitney and Falloon. And this team right here that you see on the blue line for the Spokane Chiefs is a team that did it very, very differently. They did it with a team effort.
Cam, down to you.
All right, Dustin Tokarski, outstanding job and goal for the Chiefs here through the playoffs. Tell me what it's like playing in front of a team like this.
Oh, it's just great. You know, I always want to play against a great team. You know, they battled their way out of the East, and they gave us a great run. Every game was a battle, and it was a great series.
How important was it getting pushed to 7 games against the Tri-City Americans? What a great series it was. How important was it to this club to get pushed that hard?
Oh, it was great. You know, we got a character group. We've been saying that all year. You know, we lost a heartbreaker in Game 6, but came back and got it done in Game 7, and you know, it's just an amazing group.
Has this sunk in yet at all? Or
Not at all. Not at all.
Okay, well, you enjoy this. Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, guys.
And Bill, your vote, Bill, was for that young man, and he has won. The most valuable player of this series had a short-handed goal in game number 1, had the game-winning goal last night, and he has the game-winning goal tonight. So a huge series for a youngster who I'm sure is going to be heard from even for years to come.
I can't get over the fact that as a 203rd pick in the Bantam draft, you end up being MVP.
All right, let's pick up this moment downstairs as the very first time the Ed Chanel Cup is awarded. There's Ron Robinson out there in your picture right now, shaking the hands of young Seth Compton. And here's the announcement.
The league was honored to rename at the conclusion of last season the WHL Championship Trophy the Ed Chanel Cup. The trophy is named in honor of past WHL Chairman and President Ed Chanel, who over the past 4 decades contributed more to the growth and development of the WHL and major junior hockey in Canada than any other individual. Ed Chanel passed away on April 22nd, 2008, and the WHL dedicated its 2008 playoffs in memory of Ed Chanel. Tonight, the Ed Chanel Cup will be presented for the first time in the WHL history. I would now ask Western Hockey League Commissioner Ron Robinson to come forward to present the Ed Chanel Cup to the captain of the Spokane Chiefs, number 12, Chris Bruton. Congratulations to the 2008 WHL champions, the Spokane Chiefs.
You and I have been lucky to watch some young players pick up that trophy in the past, but no one seems happier to pick it up than that young man.
Yeah, really, really. I mean, is that a wonderful sight? Wow. Good for you, Chris Bruton. He wants that thing. He said he wanted to captain this hockey club. He told the coaching staff, hey, you don't know how good we're going to be this year. And boy, they proved it.
And he gives it to David Rutherford, another 20-year-old taking the cup. Rutherford from Ladner, British Columbia. And there's Judd Blackwater from this area, the third 20-year-old on the team. Remember, Rutherford was part of the Vancouver Giants, but he wasn't part of their championship trophy. He gets to hold it tonight. And it goes from Letts to Falk. And Falk, he'll hand it down to Jared Spurgeon, whose brother has hosted that thing twice.
Yeah, Trevor Glass last
2
year
years in a row.
Absolutely.
He knows how heavy it is. And on it goes.
Nice trade, Kellner from Calgary, provided him a lot of toughness. You betcha. Welcome, Spokane Chiefs.
Well, this tradition continues, and you never get tired of seeing a team win a championship because you just know how much goes into it.
Yeah, you know the work that went into that. You're not going to win in this league unless you draft well, you develop well, and you trade well. And Tim Speltz and Bill Peters of that hockey club have done it all.
David Rutherford standing by with Cam Moon.
All right, David Rutherford here has already held the trophy, and as they're going from player to player. And tell me about the work that this team put in all season long to get to this point.
Yeah, there's no words to describe how much work we put in. Countless hours. I guess we've been here 10 months now. Finally come into my 20-year-old year and hoist it like this. There's no words to describe it. We're off to the Mem Cup, and we're pretty damn excited.
You should be. Tell me about the coaching staff. Bill Peters, Hardy Sauter, Dennis Sproxton working with the goalies, the impact they've had on you.
Yeah, it's from Sproxy all the way up to Speltsy. Speltsy brought players in that he thought could do the job, and he built a great team, great foundation here. So I don't know, no word can go out for how much work's gone in behind the scenes, and all the guys are just, no words. I'm just ecstatic.
They're carrying this back in Spokane. Maybe you want to say something to the fans of Spokane.
We'll be home, and we're going to go up to the Mem Cup, boys. I love you, Kenny.
All right, thanks, David.
No problem.
All right, guys.
Thanks, Cam. The Spokane Chiefs continue their celebration on the ice, and they'll have a few days to celebrate before representing the Western Hockey League in the 2008 Memorial Cup. There's your final score. It's a sweep in 08. The Spokane Chiefs are champs. More to come right after this. They've done it again. They've swept Lethbridge in a championship series. 4-1 victory tonight. And there's the photo that all hockey players love to get now, the one that almost symbolizes the togetherness better than anything else. The casual photo at center and the entire organization in there. And we see a little bit of a sign as well.
I wouldn't have that sign up too high. You're going to obliterate some guy.
Wow. Well, congratulations to both teams for getting here. Congratulations especially to the Spokane Chiefs. They are the 08 champs, and they are going to the Memorial Cup. They can celebrate for a while. A sweep allows you to do that. But they, I think, Bill, will be a real good representative in the Memorial Cup.
And I'll tell you what, why I think so too, Dan. And we talked about Kitchener being very, very good, Belleville good, and we know that whoever comes out of the Quebec is going to be a real good representative. Here's the difference. This is a marathon when you play in the Western Hockey League. The Memorial Cup is a sprint. And honest to goodness, when you play the Chiefs, you're going to have to make some adjustments. And I'm not sure that you're going to have enough time to make an adjustment on how to play against Spokane. Providing they play their game, they're going to force other teams to probably adjust more than the Chiefs are going to have to. And that could be the difference in Kitchener.
Vancouver won it last year, so the Western Hockey League is the defending champs. When you look at Spokane, do they remind you of last year's team? I mean, a team that did win it all?
Yeah, very much so. They're so good without the puck, and you have to play without the puck. The one area that you can coach is play without the puck. You can't coach a ton with it. That's a God-given talent that you've got. Guys like Don Hay and the Vancouver Giants, guys like Bill Peters of the Chiefs, they know that first and foremost, you got to take care of the defensive side of the puck. Your chances will come.
Well, obviously this series was not quite what we saw a year ago when Vancouver and Medicine Hat had the epic 7-gamer in the fog and the double overtime goal by Brennan Bosch, but that doesn't take a thing away from Spokane and the work they did to win this championship. I know I speak on behalf of Bill. It's a privilege for us to come to all these WHL venues. It has been again this season. Our journey started way back in Edmonton for their standalone season opener, the expansion Oil Kings. And Bill, it's been another fun season, hasn't it?
Well, I'd like more, but unfortunately we're not going to get it, but it's been a great year.
And we both thank all the men and women at Shaw who put on just a terrific production night in and night out. We just love working with all the people here at Shaw, and we thank you very much, you loyal viewer, for joining us throughout the playoffs and the regular season. We're sending it back now to Dan Elliott.
Thanks a lot, guys. Great job as usual. Another fantastic season from you both. Of course, the Spokane Chiefs, they are off to the Memorial Cup in Kitchener, Ontario, beginning May 16th. Their third time at the Memorial Cup. They were there in 91 as the WHL champions. They hosted it in 98, and now they are back in 2008. We got to take a quick break. We'll be back here in Lethbridge to wrap things up for the WHL final. The Spokane Chiefs, they are moving on to the Memorial Cup, winning 4-1 tonight, sweeping the series over Lethbridge 4-0. A great scene here at the NMAX Center. Family and friends of the Spokane Chiefs filtering out onto the ice, get a chance to celebrate with their sons, their brothers, whatever it may be. But a fantastic performance once again tonight from Spokane, defeating Lethbridge 4-1 in Game 4 to sweep the final series. They outshot Lethbridge 25-18. Wall, Johnson, Rutherford, and Roman scoring for the Chiefs. Nick Hodson had the lone goal in his final game in the WHL, one of the 20-year-olds on this team for Lethbridge, along with Wookturl and May. Tyler Johnson named the MVP as the Spokane Chiefs win their second WHL title. They're off to Kitchener May 16th. Congratulations to Bobby Brett, Tim Smeltz, Bill Peters, and the rest of the Spokane Chiefs. They are your WHL champions for 2008. The season started way back on September 20th. It is done tonight on May 7th. The Spokane Chiefs are WHL champions for 2008 and are off to the Memorial Cup in Kitchener, Ontario. They swept the Lethbridge Hurricanes just like they did in '91 in the final, led by head coach Bill Peters, general manager Tim Speltz, and owner-governor Bobby Brett. The Spokane Chiefs win their second WHL championship in franchise history. 4-1 was the final tonight as they sweep the series after beating Tri-City, Vancouver, and Everett along the way. Now, it takes a huge amount of people to put on these games, and I'm fortunate to work with an outstanding crew, from all the camera operators to all the guys and girls in the trucks. It's just been a fantastic year and a great job done by everybody in Vancouver, Calgary, Saskatoon, everybody along the way. A special thanks to those at WHL Central in Vancouver, and our executive producer who puts on the intermission, Grant Wilkins, and Paul McQuillan, who handles all our editorial stuff on and Shooter, for our extraordinary group of people that put on this broadcast for you day in and day out. But in the end, it is the Spokane Chiefs who are crowned champions for 2008. And what a fantastic group they are. They are off to Kitchener to take their chance of trying to make it 2 in a row for the WHL to win a Memorial Cup. For Dan Russell, Bill Wilms, Cam Moon, and our entire crew here in Lethbridge, I'm Dan Elliott. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next September for Game 1 of the 2008-09 season.